Welcome to the Intercontinental Group of Awesome. This is where I and groups of folks, friends of mine on here in America and across the pond in Europe, play tabletop role-playing games. We are in the second issue, that's what we call game sessions in this particular game, of Project Lycra. The tilt on this is that we are playing in Halcyon City, which is the main city setting of the game Masks: A New Generation. Project Lycra is a game by Jen Kitzman, member of our group. Jen is not playing with us today because she is at a convention. But the idea behind Project Lycra is that it is similar to Masks: A New Generation, kind of a jumping point from that, but a new iteration of design. So you get to play adults and grown-ups, which is pretty fun. So with that in mind, all of the remaining players from the Halcyon City game have aged up their characters by 5 years. And now that we have Tyler as part of the group, he has created a new character. We played first issue last week, and in it we had an introduction of a new young super team and this crazy golden rhino and a golden snitch and a bunch of combat, and Reverend Hazard was nearly killed. And rather than deal with the aftermath of that without Jen here and having the group broken up into two, we decided, hey, let's do a backstory issue. So while Masks: New Generation has the when our team first came together, we're going to explore that in play. And that is what we're going to be doing for today's session. So again, I'm Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and I'll be the GM or MC of Project Lycra. And I'm going to minimize me so we have other people. Let's go over to, okay, Jan, first of all, I need to know what's your cool shirt. I see a horse. Prancing Pony Porter. Nice. Very nice. If you could introduce yourself and introduce your character, I'd appreciate it.
So I'm Jan, he, him. I will be playing Marcus Meyer, aka Atlas. He is the changed playbook. He used to be just a normal teenage kid, except for the fact that he had a degenerative muscle disease, Duchenne, which was going to get him killed eventually. And looked for all sorts of cures, even went to see a weird priest, and eventually ended up getting experimented on by the name.
Hanover Institute.
Yes, Hanover Institute. And then he grew up to 7.5 feet tall and lots of muscles. And now he's a superhero. He lives together with his, well, I guess, but maybe back when this session will be happening, he wasn't living together with his girlfriend yet, but yeah, yep, he's big and strong, and that's his shtick.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jan. I appreciate it. Next up, we have Alex. Alex, please introduce yourself and your character.
I am Armature. What was the playbook she was in Masks? Brain?
She was the brain, yes.
She was the brain. She is now the architect, the kind of Iron Man playbook. So she can now fly, which is something she didn't do previously. Yeah, she has prosthetic limbs that is her suit, and her own company, which is more of a private lab / one-person think tank, and an AI.
What did it say? You're not gonna call your shame a person? That's hurtful. So hurtful. Cool.
It chose it as its. So That's
It did. It did. But that's, it doesn't mean it can't be a person, right?
I mean, it's been 5 years. It can evolve. It has.
Indeed. Makes a mighty fine mocha half-calf latte, so.
Took a long time to perfect that, but it was worth it.
Earl Grey hot right away. Mocha half-calf latte, like version 276 was before you got it quite right. Cool. Thank you very much. And last but not least, we have Tyler. Please introduce yourself and your character.
I'm Tyler. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Reverend Hoary Hazard, the Demon Deacon. And Reverend Hazard is a West Texas, was a West Texas evangelical preacher. He grew up in that life. His father was also one. He traveled as a young prodigy on the revival circuit, known primarily for being able to do faith healing and exorcisms. But Reverend Hazard had a powerful thirst, and that was for both booze, women, song. He would get out there and he would sin, because only a sinner knows what it is to repent. And while out there doing his awful deeds, he had already made quite a few enemies in the underworld because of his exorcisms and such like. And in a moment of weakness, he ran across Dalmuth, the pawnbroker of hell. And in a bad moment, Dalmuth suggested to him that he could make him even greater at what he does. He just needed something of value in return, just a little deal. And Reverend Hazard was willing to pawn his wedding ring, not quite realizing that this also pawned his wife, the blessed Betty Buckland. Sweet girl, I knew her all my life. And from that moment on, he was the Demon Deacon. I guess a little of his powers, he deals with demons. He has demonic mastery. He also deals with illusions. And he's kind of been on the run. Every time he stays in a place for too long in the past, demons start showing up, wanting him to do little favors or intercede in the kind of eternal struggle of heaven and hell.
That is fantastic. And yeah, blessed Betty. She's blessed Betty Buckley. I love that name. It is the best alliteration. So the framing device, as suggested by Tyler, because he's amazing. Oh, sorry. It was a framing device suggested by Alex. Also amazing. What's great is I play with only amazing people. So any one of them could be hot swapped for other amazings. Alex suggested that the framing device for this is that we pick up at the point where we ended last issue with the Reverend Hazard being carried through the air by Seraph, Jen's character, the half angel, towards Halcyon City General. And before he was handed over to the medical experts at Halcyon City General, we look at Reverend Hazard covered in his own blood, pale, sweating, and he starts to flash back to a particular time when he was in dire straits as well. So we pick up this particular issue with those few frames, but then we see the hazy panel that shows us that we are going back in time several years. I think. How long has Reverend Hazard been associated with this team, do you think, Tyler?
I think probably just the last year or so. I think, that way we'll keep the heroes at roughly the age they are now, and rather than going back too far into the...
All right, cool. So we flash back a year. We know that because Reverend Hazard has a different haircut. He has shorter hair. Perhaps he's maybe looks a little more kempt. Perhaps he's a little less hefty. Maybe the last year for him has been pretty rough. Also, last question before we jump into this scene. He has made the deal with Dolmuth at this point. Blessed Betty is accursed, all that stuff.
That's been some time ago, probably 10, 15 years, easy.
All right, great. Love it. I'm going to say that then we shift. We see the slightly younger Reverend Hazard still in the air, and he is flying through the air, except backwards. He slams into a brick wall and kind of slides down it for a panel or so. Then the next panel draws back, and we see Reverend Hazard is there. He's been thrown by someone. Traffic is stopped. It's someplace in downtown Halcyon City. And Atlas, you are facing off with none other than Solace, Solace. This is Solace here. He looks kind of wiry and thin, but you are finding out that he is quite a foe. He has superhuman speed and strength as well as flight. And so I think that we see that because we also see Armature up in her cool suit. What is slightly different about Armature's suit that you've iterated out in the first issue that we had last week? Oh, you're talking about me.
I think this is my very first version with flight. It isn't great.
Nice. So we see
it's a little. It's kind of wobbly. There's not any precision to it. I can levitate basically.
Okay.
I'm
cool.
not going to fall off a building, but that's
And we get the readout from you, the readout from your HUD showing the powers of Solace. Solace's real name unknown. Bronze Generation drive is to feed on intense and deep emotions, abilities, superhuman speed and strength, flight, and emotional vampirism. So, yeah, Atlas, you just saw Solace grab the good Reverend, who you recognize, out of his nice Monte Carlo, ripping off the door and fling him half a city block until he slammed into the side of a building and slid down a good 15 feet.
How far am I away?
I don't know. How far do you think you're away? I am okay with you being jogging or leaping distance.
It's going to be a short jog and a leap.
Nice.
And I will just sort of take a really big jump and just land right in between them.
Nice. Okay, cool. And so it looks like what you're trying to do then is you are trying to defend and protect? Okay. Awesome. So when you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, roll with power. Just to keep things kind of easier for us for keeping track of everything. Let's keep our confidence and trust levels and team where they are at the end of last session. We'll just carry it forward. So we don't have to reset anything.
Otherwise, it's going to get really complicated.
Exactly. So defend and protect is a trust-aligned move, and you roll with power.
I see I have 1 trust, and I have 1 power, so that's +2.
Okay.
And then, do I have some dice already? I don't think I do. Where's the roll button?
Oh, submit.
Right, submit. +2 would make an 8.
Okay, so you got an 8. That is good. Whoop, sorry, that's not the good way to do that. I should have moved that into its own window because we started having some kind of vorpal something or other. 8. Okay, on a 7 to 9 for defend and protect. It costs you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
I will expose myself to danger.
Okay, cool. And I'm just checking through, so making sure I'm reading the move correctly because there are some choices, but it looks like that is on NPC threat, or when you're saving. Okay, so for NPC threats, sorry, just want to make sure. For NPC threats, that we need to juggle around how this is phrased, at least for my brain. For NPC threats, on a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. For PC threats, on a hit, give them -2 to their roll. Okay, but this is not a PC threat; it's an NPC threat because it is Solace.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you get to choose one. First of all, you keep them safe and you choose one. Give teammate an opportunity, forge a new tie with someone you protect, or shift the relationship if you're already tied, shift your confidence or trust. And then you also escalate or expose yourself to danger. And so, okay, sorry.
Okay, right. So, choose one. Let's see. So it's one of those first three. Yeah, okay. I will give a teammate an opportunity.
Nice. So, Atlas, you step in between Solace and the poor Reverend Hazard. Reverend Hazard, I am not making you survive a powerful blow because for now I am generous. That is just the color of getting you introduced into this. But soon my generosity will go away. But you've been slammed into a building, slid down it. Do you know why Solace is after you?
Say psychic vampire type. Then yes, I think I've been led to believe that that they are in league with demons. That may not be true, but feeding off of like hate and anger, I have been led to believe that there's some demonic influence here.
And then, so what did you do to provoke Solace then? Is it just that Solace found out that you were after them, or have you actively thwarted Solace in some way?
I think because super fast, I think that I had seen Solace and had hopped in the old town car and was speeding off after them. And when they turned around and said, "Oh, screw this," and got me.
Nice. Cool. Okay. Well, you can describe what it was that Solace was doing to people later if you survive. But you have to survive because of the flashback. Look, you have plot immunity. Unless you have a twin. All right. Atlas steps in the way, and you maybe, I don't know, like, this guy seems familiar, but it's weird. But Solace is definitely paying more attention to Atlas. So you may have an opportunity, but I think maybe Armature is the one who has a little bit more of an opportunity here. If that makes sense to the person who chose, give your teammate an opportunity. Is that okay with you for Atlas?
Absolutely. I mean, I think considering that at this point, Armature and Atlas have been working together longer, they're probably...
Yeah.
Cool. So, your HUD pops up a few options there for what you could do to Solace. Maybe some of your older Mark weapons like Mark 3s that you're now on Mark 4s a year later. What do you want to do here? You've got an opportunity. I will give you... let's see. I should double check here. When people get... no, it's using team. Yeah, so I'll just give you a +1 forward. That's your opportunity.
Okay. Well, I think I might actually use my company resource, my one resource.
Ooh.
Because, I mean, this is emotional vampire. Maybe let's dampen all emotions in there.
Oh, wow. So you have some kind of emotional dampener machine that you want to
at least
trip out here?
Like, all... Can I decide that his it's alpha wave emissions are just like cut across a block radius? Like, no one's like transmitting any mental energy out.
Wow, that is really cool.
They
Okay.
just block off. So it doesn't matter how angry anyone is in this area. This guy's not gonna. And this is using one of my resources as part of my company resources.
Yep, I'm looking at the company
And
resources move.
I'm using having swift access to a piece of expensive, rare, or cutting-edge equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool. So you
project
turn
diffuse,
on the field, kind of.
I would give me project 346. Then little out of my little portal thing that I have on my hip, where I can summon in new prosthetic tentacles. But it's like little, I don't know, small rectangle, small cylinder device, and just throw it into the air, and it kind of opens up, and just some sort of small particles just spread out.
Yeah, we see the color differentiation, and some people seem like one panel earlier, maybe they're bright and laughing, and now they seem just neutrally talking to each other. And Solace immediately kind of does the little like head thing to move the hair out of his eyes and looks around. He has definitely felt that something has changed pretty significantly, but he doesn't know where yet. We flip over to Reverend Hazard. Your suit looks a little scuffed up. You've got a couple of supers who have moved in to defend you from Solace. What do you do?
Well, any ally in the fight against evil is a good ally, and I can deal with them later, I suppose. I think, I'm crumpled down at the wall, and as I kind of stagger up, leaning against the wall, you can see kind of blood trickling out of my mouth. As I look over there at, this creature that's fighting me, I know that physically I am well overmatched. And so I think that there's this sort of indrawing of breath, and you can kind of see this dark look go across the Reverend's face as he and sprays out the blood from his mouth. And behind the blood, he and the blood particles turn into these little demonic, almost like mosquito creatures, and fly over to begin attacking Solace.
Oh, that is terrifying. I assume that you are direct confrontation here?
Yeah.
Nice. And you're using your mastery of spirits, ghosts, and demons. So you're bellowing forth hell gnats. I love it. That is gross and awesome. Go ahead and roll with daring. That is a confidence-aligned move.
Okay, and my confidence, not good.
And your daring is flat, so you're rolling at a -1.
-1. I rolled terrible. Let's see.
You do, but, we still like you.
Aw. All right. So I happen to have 2 of my dice, so I'm going to re-roll them. Ugh. That's a 4.
So the good news is that you get an experience point.
Woo!
You spew forth all of this, these blood-tinged gnats or little sprites, and as you do, you feel them trying to take more of you than you wanted to give. So I'd like for you to try to weather a blow as they attempt to rip out pieces of you as you vomit them forth. Oh, gross. Man, is this on the Comics Code Authority? I don't know if it's approved.
Also may give those who are helping me a little pause there that I'm sending out awful things. Let's see.
Yeah.
Re-rolling, I've got a 9, and that will be rolling whether a blow is off of, is it a flat?
It is trust or confidence, the absolute value. So whichever is furthest from 0, that's what you're rolling. So I think you're rolling a +1. So you want to roll low in this one.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I can't use the -1?
It's the absolute value, so...
That's a 10.
All right, on a 10, the move is on row 54 of the basic moves. in that tab. You must remove yourself from the situation, flee, pass out, etc. You lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way. Or 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
Let's take the 2 options from the 7 to 9.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to let you shift my confidence or trust.
Uh-huh.
And a foe gains an opportunity.
Awesome. So I think I'm going to shift your trust down by 1 from 1 to 0 because you just basically whipped out some pretty terrifying stuff. I think Armature, your emotions are pretty calm, it turns out, due to Project 346. But that was something that kind of registers on the extra dimensional wave. Not good stuff that older guy, I mean, he's super ancient to you. The older guy just spewed out at Solace. Solace sees this, and he is going to, with this super speed, he's going to zip around and pick up and grab Reverend Hazard and take off. That is the opportunity. So he's snatched him up and he's taken off. You see him zip up a building and he's kind of skirting across from a couple of buildings, moving out of downtown. Atlas, what do you do?
I jump after him. I give chase.
Nice. Cool. All right. That makes total sense. Good. So let's see here. I think that what you're trying to do, let's see if we've got a cool move that we can do. There's part of me that always wants to push your limits, but that I had to think about that one. That move tickles me. Let's see. We are not doing a downtime move, not weathering the blow. Maybe. Okay. All right. You know what? We'll go with direct confrontation because I mean, you can do super leaps. You can most likely catch him. It's just what is going to happen when you get there. So let's have you go ahead and direct confrontation.
So I'll jump in after him and go like, where do you think you're going? And it's a 9.
A 9, cool. Okay, on a direct confrontation, you're rolling with daring as well as confidence.
Oh wait, yes, that's a good point. Confidence,
your daring's 2 and your confidence is a 0.
Yeah, okay, then I did correct.
That's okay. We are going to get used to it. On a 7 to 9, you get to choose one. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opening, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I will take something from him.
Nice. I assume that would be the Reverend?
I mean, he doesn't have the Reverend at the moment, but I'm going to take his momentum from him and basically just gonna stop him.
Nice. Cool. All right. Are you seeing this as like a trip him, or you are just a brick wall that he runs into? How do you take his momentum from him?
I think it's just like I just reach, like land behind him. I just reach for his collar and just.
Oh, nice. Cool. Okay. So you reach out, you grab his collar on that. I don't know. Personally, I think it's a sexy little overcoat he's got there. It yanks his shoulders back. He lets go of Reverend Hazard. You go a little bit flying, and we see you tumble in the air, Reverend Hazard. I don't know. This is like a trope I'm going to be using. Flying Reverend Hazard. And you slam into a wet roof that is like the roof to looks like a series of storage units here, and you smash through the roof and slam down onto the concrete. Now you get to weather a powerful blow.
Sorry.
I am getting more and more like John Constantine, all this damage I take. All right. Come on. Let's see how this goes. I roll boxcars.
Oh man, did you know that you're supposed to roll low on this one? Like,
Oh, me. So, that's not good. Let's see. This would be a good time for I lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way.
it sure would be. Yeah, you should do that. That'd be a thing.
Do I describe that or do you?
Could I add that I was going to, like, while Atlas was tussling with Solus, that's going to confuse me a little bit. I was going to check on the Reverend, right, you know, because obviously something is up with that guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you hover like you
Over the
and hover over
hole
the
in
thing.
the ceiling and like start to drop in through.
Yeah, you get to start to drop in through. So I'll let the Demon Deacon. You get to tell me. You get to describe it. I may add a yes and at the end.
All right. Hit this ceiling, crash through it. I guess it's a storage unit, so it's not super high that I fall, but,
Nope.
Good.
It is not super high. You're right.
Okay. So good 10, 15 feet, though, slamming down to the ground. I've already been slammed around a good bit. So as I hit, I'm stunned. And as part of my stuff I do, I've had to bind a demon here and there. And I think that brief moment of loss of consciousness means that one of these demons will come free. And so as I hit, and there's the sound of my breath being knocked out of me, in my breath, we see this figure of smoke and fire rise up out of my mouth.
Awesome. Unisha, aka Armature, you see this this guy. Are you wearing like the collar? I don't imagine Reverend Hazard wears the collar, so he's just a guy in a nice suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So none of that Catholic voodoo.
I didn't think so. Just want to make sure because I didn't want to say Reverend Hazard because Armature wouldn't know. So you see this old guy because he's in his 40s or whatever. He like slams into the ground, and then when he opens his mouth after passing out, you see this thing like this hand come the side of his mouth and like pulls itself out, and it's impossibly big to come out of that space. But wait, there's more. This particular storage unit, it's crammed with electronic parts and papers and circuit diagrams and tools. So we see all that on your HUD, but most importantly, there's a small bundle of bricks of plastic explosive in saran wrap. This is a bomb maker's workshop that this man has fallen into, and there is a demon of fire crawling out of his mouth. While your brick is up on the roof fighting with another bad guy. Armature, what do you do?
Well, I as quick as I can, try and take in as much information of this situation.
Absolutely. Are you trying to, I don't know, trying to get a read on things? Are you trying to assess
the situation?
Yeah. Roll with genius. You happen to go with genius. It's a confidence aligned ability.
So that's
yeah, you're rolling plus
I'm
3.
getting plus 3, so that is
yes,
not.
You are.
Let's see how that goes. The dice did not particularly like me last time.
And the trend continues.
What? I'm rolling plus 3.
So the good news is that you get an XP. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna level up before any of you, so suck it.
So it doesn't say so, but usually on the oh wait, does it say? I was looking at the wrong thing. On
it doesn't have any on a miss.
Yeah, there is no on a miss. You get to ask the question anyway. Aw, boo. We'll give Jen on a miss. Assess.
Oh, wait a second. Wait. I had a +1 forward, I think. Did I? Didn't I?
If you have it written down, I'll trust you.
Didn't Atlas give me a +1?
Yeah, I did.
I've not used it.
Yes.
One.
There you go. You get exactly a 7. Because that was about to get real
I'll
bad.
take that XP away.
All right.
I did not want to be.
Ask one question. Take +1 while acting on the answers.
How could we best end? No. What here can I use to subdue safely?
What do you want to subdue? The
This
demon?
meta manifestation of power.
You
Not
realize. Oh, sorry.
Just to be
This
clear.
extra-planar being.
Multidimensional.
Multi-dimensional visitor.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to come up with some kind of acronym that spells out demon, but I'm not gonna. It's a lot of work, but somebody needs to backronym that.
Dimensional.
It's a Tenari or a Batezu, one of those.
Mhm.
Sorry, it's a throwback to second edition. Anyway, the mommy's edition of D&D. What can you do? You realize that this guy was somehow holding it back. That it is using him as an extra-planar gate. And if you can wake him, he should be able to subdue this thing much more quickly than you could
I
batter
slap
it.
him.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good.
Just
Hey, Reverend Hazard. Someone's waking you up.
What's happening?
As you're trying to talk, your mouth is full of demon that is like trying to wriggle its way out. What do? You can breathe through your nose, by the way, just in case you need that.
Oddly enough, I have a feeling this is something I've encountered before.
I think so too. Not a shocker.
And so you begin to hear almost like a chanting through the demon-filled mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten, but it's and trying to bring this thing back inside of me.
Cool. I'm trying to see. Is this bargaining, you think? Or I don't know.
Might be just use of power.
Oh, yeah. Let's just unleash your powers then. Yeah. Totally cool. Sorry.
Because that's got to take hold of something vulnerable to you.
Exactly. Do it.
All right. So that's a confidence aligned. So I actually have a bonus on it, plus its power. So that's going off. That's a +3.
Nice.
So let's see how terrible I still roll. No, I got an 11.
Cool. So I just want to check in on something. I'm reading. It's still a success, but I'm reading your confidence as a -1. Was there something? Yeah, it looks like a -1 to me.
Oops, you are correct. I'm so
but
sorry.
It still means you're rolling with a +1. You rolled an 8, so
that's right. Yes.
So you're rolling with power
So
-1. You're rolling +1. You rolled an 8, so it says 7 to 9 result.
7 to 9 result. So sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. So with wield your powers on a 7 to 9, you get to choose one, and you can do the take hold of something vulnerable to you, no problem.
I think that's what I'm doing. Yes.
Cool. So you pull this thing back in. Oh, wait. You're kind of acting on Armature's answer from the assess, so that would push you to a 10 because of the +1. So you can pick a second option as you pull this demon. I'm sorry, extra-planar visitor back into your gullet.
All right, then. I think I'm also going to take...
Maybe you neutralize the opponent?
Well, if I could do something to solace, that's what I'd do. But no, I think it would have been either or on the take something or neutralize of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to create something useful from my environment somehow through this.
Ooh, interesting. Huh. Do you have ideas on something to create, or do you want me to throw out?
As a thought, I suppose there could be some sort of, as this thing is coming in and it's fighting against me, and it, hurls out with its energy this plastique and perhaps explodes. over there to give some advantage to Atlas in the fight just the other side, maybe?
Fun.
I don't know.
Yes, I am okay with that. That sounds interesting to me. So yeah, that would draw down some of Solace's power. So we will cut back up to the top onto the roofs, the roof of this particular storage unit, as you have yanked Solace back, Atlas, and Solace not super happy about that. That is a thing that would upset him. And so he's gonna try to get away still, though. Things aren't going well for him, and so he's gonna ditch out of here. What do you do?
I will just say, "Oh no, you don't," and I'll punch him because I want to ask him questions. But if he's trying to get away, I can't ask them. So
Okay, cool.
So I will, I guess, directly confront.
Well, you should do that then.
Which is
a confidence-aligned move, and you're rolling with daring.
okay. So just the same as the last turn.
Yep.
+2. Right. Click the dice. Reroll. That's an 8. No, yes, an 8.
Cool. So with a 7
Down to
to
8
9.
and 9.
All right, 7 to 9, you get to choose one. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opening, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I will resist or avoid their blows.
Cool. Good. So I'm imagining that you are trying to keep Solace running away. He turns towards you, throws a bunch of very rapid fire punches. A couple of them connect, but none do any lasting damage. So we just get to see Atlas being super badass, taking a few blows, without having to weather a blow, but taking a few blows without it showing any harm whatsoever. And then Solace realizes, this isn't going to work. And he's going to try to wriggle out of his coat to get out of here. Armature, you have woken this man who pulled the demon back into him, and the demon seems gone, except for that last gout of flame that seemed to have gone out and caused a bit of a distraction with Solace. Solace is not doing so well right now.
I think I dodged that kind of flame explosion stuff, and it's like, sir, I think you have an extra dimensional parasite.
A demon, my boy. A demon. Or no, I'm sorry. Armature is female. A demon, my dear girl. A demon. Straight from hell.
And concussion.
That also may be true.
Try not to go anywhere. My friend might need help. Or not. No.
All right.
And I octopus out of the hole in the multiple holes in the ceiling, I guess now.
Yes. You octopus out of the multiple holes. Reverend Hazard, you look around, you see the plastique, you see all the electronics. There are several papers in here. This is obviously a bomb maker's little workshop. Highly illegal, super dangerous, middle of the city. But there's also a fight going up on the roof. What do you do?
Well, I'm definitely not staying here. There was no way in heck that was going to happen. So, I imagine there's also a door.
There is a door. You would imagine, though, that it's probably locked on the outside, being a storage unit. Not sure that's a thing you were worried about, but, just FYI.
Then I suppose I'm going to have to do something to get myself out. I guess I'm going to have to call on my powers. That's the only thing I could figure, short of climbing up to across plastique to get to the roof.
Okay.
So, I think that even though I have been rather spiritually drained by having to bring in this demon, I'm going to have to call upon one of the others that owes me a favor. And as I begin calling to Pazuzu, demon of air and corruption, I am going to attempt to levitate up to the roof.
Wield your powers. It sounds great. No problems whatsoever. Not dangerous.
Not at all, of course. So once again, I'm +1. Ooh, that's an 11.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, you literally have no problems whatsoever. You can levitate. So you're even more better at levitating than Armature's current version of her super suit. We see you come up towards the roof level and just step off onto it. Meanwhile, Atlas and Arbiter are both facing off Solace. Solace looks at the both of you, realizes this is not going well for him, and says, Let me go. This is stupid. There's no reason for us to fight. I was just after him. I don't even know who you people are.
Why were you after him?
He was trying to hurt some of my associates.
And they are?
You could feel him trying to reach for some emotion, but your Project 346 is still activated.
Yeah, that's not going to work, by the way. The whole emotion thing. I nullified that.
Narrows his eyes. Demons. My associates are demons.
Okay, concussion is spreading like wildfire here.
What do you mean?
Demons of hell.
That seems like bad associates. You should find better friends.
They pay well. And that's when, Reverend Hazard, you come up onto the roof.
As I look out there and see, oh, very good. You've managed to catch it.
It.
Demon, don't use your lies upon these poor souls. I know what you are.
What is all this about demons?
The fiends of hell. They wish to work their will upon the world. This is one of their creatures, if not one of them himself.
Okay. Are you a demon? I'm actually also going to probably, I don't know.
Pierce the Mask?
Yes.
I think you've got some Pierce the Mask related stuff going on here. If I remember, you can be the monster.
Oh, right. Oh, that's
yeah. You should use that.
Let's have a look at that. I don't know. That's Frightened Intimidator Cow. Is there a move for that? No, there's not. So yeah, no, I mean, I think I will literally I have big meaty hands, so I'll wrap my hand around his face, lift him up, and go come on, spit it out. Are you a demon?
Nice. You are being the monster then. I love it. Roll with power.
Let's see, and that's power and trust. So that's another +2. It's a 6. Yay, my first XP.
I mean, can I help out?
Yeah, you can back him up if you want to.
Would that be in the teamwork rules? The helping out?
Oh yes, let's double check that. I think that is in teamwork moves. So
When you help someone you have a tie with, which I do, describe
Mhm.
how you're doing it and spend a team. Ties between you both now apply to their role.
Yep. So if you spend your team, you each have a tie towards each other, so that would give a +2 to that roll.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm like, I come in besides, like, well, I think this makes me the good cop, but I mean, the tensile strength of, I really don't want to be where you are. I've seen him liquefy a bowling ball.
That's
with those
a pretty good threat. Okay, so on a 7 to 9, choose 2. Oh God, I love that one.
I think because of that comment that was just made, I will feel like more of a monster afterwards.
Appropriate.
And I think, just frighten others that I hadn't intended to scare. Maybe this is also freaking out the Reverend a bit.
I think perhaps maybe this was caught on someone's camera phone.
Oh, even better. And then you also get to shift one of my tracks, I think.
Oh, I will definitely take that one. Oh, so very much. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take your. Oh man. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm playing the long game. I'm gonna push your confidence up by 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna start making you overconfident. That's where I'm headed. Because an overconfident Atlas sounds terrifying.
Yes, it does.
Playing the long game. So, yeah, you reach Solace. Solace realizes what a predicament he's in, and he says, "Okay, so assault, battery, some property damage. Put me in the spike."
No, you didn't answer the question. Are you a demon?
No, I work for them, but I'm not one.
Okay. Reverend Hazard, right?
Yes.
He's a bit concussed, so he's not making complete sense right at the moment.
What makes you say this man is a demon?
I said that he was one of their creatures or might be one himself. He has admitted it. He works for these demons. He is in the pocket of the devil.
And they have excellent law firms. So take me to the spike, please.
I mean, that does make sense. Armature.
And over armatures, we see the little font that it indicates diffuse. Ma'am, should I call in the bomb-making equipment that you saw in the storage unit?
Yeah, we'll want to contain that.
Do you wish to contain it, or shall we have Aegis take control?
I don't think there's any imminent danger. Let's not piss off Aegis more than we want to.
And I'm going to
take it.
Go ahead. I'm going to move up to Solus, and as he's held there and they're discussing sending him to jail, tell me the name of the one you serve so I can send him back to hell.
Ooh, I think maybe you are trying to pierce the mask here. Are you?
Okay, I'll do that.
I would like to help.
All right.
Adding a little bit of pressure on your skull.
Oof. Ouch. Spend a team, and both the ties that you have between each other will add to the reverence roll. Pierce the Mask is a trust-aligned maneuver. A move.
Yeah, I think I'm even on trust, aren't I?
You are. You're at flat right now.
Yeah, and mine always counts as positive.
Oh, nice. You should take that super negative then.
That's my hope, but it keeps getting pushed back up.
Roll with humanity. You're flat on that too. This is a straight up flat roll.
Flat roll. Plus the help, right?
Correct.
+2
So
from the help.
+2.
+2.
Because we actually do already know each other. You just don't know it yet.
I just don't know it yet. So that is a 9.
Nice. On a 7 to 9, you get to ask one question. So close.
I suppose it would be, how can I get this character, this person, to tell me who they're serving? So what am I going to have to do to get him to roll over on this greater demon?
Nice. What are you gonna have to do? I think the questioning, threatening to hurt him. Let me take one last look here at Solace, just to make sure that I'm staying true to my prep here. Ooh, if you threaten to continue to use Armature's device so that he cannot siphon any more emotions ever, he will roll over.
Gotcha. And so I think I've put together that this has dampened him down.
Mm-hmm.
As I lean in and whisper, my friend here could leave her little gizmo with you forever.
His face falls and that sneer disappears. No. I will starve. I will die. Turn it off. Turn it off. I'll tell you who she is.
I'll look over to Armature. Would you mind for just a moment shutting off this field you have managed to create?
Seriously?
It may be the only way we learn what we must if we're to stop what's going to happen to this city.
So weak. You've made me so weak.
Let's keep a hold.
Weak is good, right? Wait, what is he going to do when you like? Is he going
He's
to
an emotion vampire. Keep up. I diffuse. Deactivate for 10 seconds.
Countdown beginning now. His name is Alocer, the great Duke of Hell, with 36 legions of demons under his command. You will never defeat him.
You'd be surprised.
You have chosen to walk in darkness. You will pay with your eternal soul.
I think he's okay with that.
You feel him start to try to draw some of your emotions in. And before he's able to get hold of anything of any power, the device comes back on and throwing in the spike. There's nothing you can do. There's already people who've seen this. The cops are on their way. Got what you want.
I kind of turned around and kind of just started to walk off and letting them handle this.
Hey, Reverend, where do you think you're going?
Just over here. I have some thinking to do. The Spike? That's where they keep powered folks, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Probably as good a place as any for him.
I guess. He seems too happy to go there, but...
Don't worry. I'll hand the agents this. The thing kind of floats back into my tentacled hand. The device.
So we just wait here for agents to show up.
Oh, they're on their way. I mean, you can already hear their sirens. They trip the alarms. It's downtown. They'll be here in moments. So if you guys want to hand over Solace, that's fine. There will be a bomb squad that's going to be showing up in moments. They're already starting to cordon off this storage unit where you guys are. Looks like Reverend Hazard's leaving. What do you do?
I go after Reverend Hazard. Hey, Reverend Hazard.
Yeah, that's right. Do I know you, son?
Atlas, but you wouldn't know that. Well, you might from the news, but Marcus Meyer.
Marcus Meyer.
Yeah, small, in a wheelchair.
Oh, your parents brought you to me.
Yeah, it's been a while. Lots has happened, and he sort of points at himself, like lots has happened.
My goodness. And I'll kind of move up to you and, kind of tentatively, reach out to touch you to see, if you don't withdraw.
No.
Kind of. Do you withdraw?
No.
Okay.
He's not scared that something's going to hurt him.
And touch your arm. Did I do this?
No. I'm afraid you didn't do much.
But you're all better.
I mean, better, yes. Difference, yes.
There's nothing wrong with difference, son. You were healed.
Yeah. Makes it a bit hard to shop for clothes, go for doors.
Seems to make it
cars are difficult.
Seems to make it a heck of a lot easier for you to walk and move, and now you have power to do good.
Yeah, I know. That's why I sort of been doing this. The suits. Then
That's amazing, son. I'm happy for you. The Lord has found a tool to work with in you, and that's a blessing.
I mean, I think Atlas sort of stands there, sort of embarrassed, and I think this is also very much an intimacy move moment.
Yes, you have nailed it. You're 100% right. This is an intimacy move. What does it look like for our changed when your intimacy moment happens?
When you share a moment of intimacy with another character, if they treat you like a normal person, which he did, you can shift one of your tracks. If they praise your power and abilities, mark XP, and he also did that.
Do you think that's an either or?
Um,
Because I agree that both of those kind of happen, but I'm wondering if that question is an either or. Interesting.
if it's an either or, then I'd say then would probably be more the praise or power. But good question.
I like the idea. Well, I'll rule because it's not an either or, and he did both. Let's have you do both of those because I like the intimacy move and I don't want to gimp it, but I'll definitely chat with Jen about that later. And you're on the other half of that, Reverend Hazard. What about you?
My intimacy move is when you share a moment of intimacy with another character, decide if you're going to show them your true feelings or a tough front. And in this case, I'm actually showing a tough front because I do not believe that being chosen as a tool of the Lord is a blessing. I'm on the other side of what being chosen as a tool of the Lord becomes. I get to ask Atlas, what fear you're trying to hide right now?
What fear am I trying? I mean, it's the fear that he'll never just have a normal life.
Okay.
That he's always going to be sort of an outcast in normal society.
Okay. And so kind of acting on seeing that fear and that doubt in you. I think that, I'll come up and kind of in that, almost fatherly, even though I'm much smaller. I mean, I'm a tall enough guy, 6'1", but that's still very, very small. But it's kind of going to be one of those like embraces around your middle and a pat to say, in life, we all find a family that is our own. And you're a good person. There will be those who see it in you, son. Don't you worry.
Thanks, Reverend. Hey, so, you were spitting out some red flies. That's new, I think.
Creatures of the pit. Demonic creatures.
But aren't you supposed to be like a priest?
My preaching days have gone past. The Lord and I are sort of on the outs right now. I have to make my way with different means. Though I think he still has some purpose for me.
Okay. So, but you've got that. Yeah. So you're not in league with that guy that we just hold off.
No.
It's off to you, I guess.
No, I heard that here in this city a powerful demon wishing to make his influence known on this place. Wasn't sure who.
But now you do, right?
Yeah, and now I have to go and stop it.
Oh.
Send it back where it belongs.
Wait.
Do you need some help?
If you're taking on extra-dimensional entities, I'm kind of an expert in the field of dimensional travel.
She is. So, Armature, this is Reverend Hazard.
Nice to meet you.
Armature.
I put out a hand. It just seconds before like the massive tentacles isn't anything. It's just massive tentacles, and it just kind of entwines into a hand just as it's reaching for your hand.
I'll take the hand and nice to meet you. I really appreciate y'all's help. There's a little recoil from, the very inhuman nature of it, but I've seen inhuman. I appreciate the help. This is dangerous, very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean,
You were used to interdimensional
extra dimensional entities.
Yeah, those, yes.
I mean, we've dealt with time travel, kind of. Demon, no.
How big
Not demons, but things that call.
How big would you say this demon is going to be? Like
1 atlases, 2 atlases, half an atlas.
I'm going to have to do some bit of research, but if it's a Duke of Hell, regardless of the size, it will be powerful, strong, cunning, and with legions to call upon.
Well, I'm strong and Armature is cunning, so
It has to bring the legions through some sort of dimensional portal.
Probably a gate from hell, yes.
A dimensional portal. I'm sure we can throw a wrench in that.
Well, I've seen a lot of people die taking on these things. I don't want to be responsible for more.
it's okay. I don't die that easy anymore.
How are you responsible for us?
You find that even those who choose to put themselves in danger, their faces still haunt you at night.
Yes.
Well, if you're determined, I could certainly use the help. And I sort of crack of my back. I can't say I did particularly well in that one. I'm much obliged. That thing might have killed me. Well, I suppose, not a demon.
You look like you could do with some soup.
And a drink. Do you know a bar?
Yeah.
Reverend Hazard, you're rather sure that that young girl is not old enough to drink. I mean, not that you can easily tell. At your advanced age, you can easily tell when someone's 20 versus 15, but chances are good that she's not legal to drink at a bar.
I think she looks her age, even if she has a slight sternness sometimes.
Means I ain't got to buy one for her.
Nice. So do we cut to...
Wait, that's okay. You have to buy extra for me.
Yeah, you'll make up for it.
You're downtown. Do we cut to some kind of bar that caters to superheroes? Meaning that they can... I think that would be fun. Cool. So I think I'm going to borrow from Gauntlet Comics Universe because someone came up with a super themed bar that I quite liked there. So I'm just gonna snag that. I'm not aware of Halcyon City having any super themed bar, so I will have to take from other places. We're going to the Sky Lounge. It is it's more of a nightclub, but you guys are doing this in the day, so it's kind of a bar and the grill during the day, and then they shut it down. It becomes a more exclusive nightclub, and it is the only entrance to the Sky Lounge is via flying craft or a teleporter pad. So a lot of you make your way in, and you're able to see that there are quite a few costumed folks here, as well as people who... There are no fans here, is what I'll say. Like, the folks who are here are, if they're not powered, they're people who deal with...
They're in the life.
Right, they're in the life. Agents, support staff, that kind of stuff. So while you see a few people that are in costumes and the like, nobody's seems to be making a huge deal about it. There's a gorgeous view of Halcyon City and the bay. It's expensive here, but you've got your own company armature. I mean, you did waste your resources on Project 346, but I'm not going to penny pinch you at all. What is it, Atlas? How comfortable do you feel in a place like this? It's a bar, yes, but it's also a bar filled with other superpower beings.
I mean, Atlas generally feels more at ease between other supers than outside of super, because then he just sticks out like a sore thumb. So this is actually one of the places he likes to go to.
Nice. What about the Reverend? How do you handle this? This is maybe a little different from your normal day-to-day.
Yeah, I think I was imagining a quiet dive bar, and this is, I imagine with super themed, it's got like, high tech from some of the other, some of the folks and all this stuff. And so probably looking out of place, my, rumpled suit and no spandex and very normal person-y looking. And kind of, so this is where you like to drink?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They actually have chairs that fit me, so.
Oh.
You see a couple people in Sky Lounge livery, like the polo shirts, and they're quickly carrying over a very, very wide, big chair.
They're like got pneumatics.
Yes, exactly. Cool. What about armature? I assume you're drinking some kind of Shirley Temple drink. How
She's
are
like,
you?
I think she's looking at the menu, and then it's like, diffuse. Not my age, but a couple of years.
Yes, ma'am. Also, Unisha, an update on the bomb-making equipment. The person who rented that storage unit did so via cash and used what appears to be a pseudonym. The police are still investigating.
Keep an eye on that.
Very well.
Then sir,
yes.
I would like a beer.
You show your little identification. He checks it and hands it back, and he will go and get you like a draft, something they have on tap. And then, do you imagine you're seated at a table that's like facing the windows, or at the bar?
I'd probably have looked for something shadowy, but
Yeah, table.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you got a table, or maybe a booth, right?
A booth, but I'm sitting out on the.
Yeah, it's like a booth, but you're sitting at the end. But it seems.
I think I
okay.
would arrive at the booth, kind of squeeze by Atlas, and then just with a slight look of pride, just like tink his I don't know,
huge tankard.
like there's like big jugs that they like a pitcher, a big pitcher of. Is that what you got? I don't know. Whatever your drink is, I would tap it in my glass. And
Yes,
just, like,
I have a picture, but
beer.
yeah.
And I'm sipping on a whiskey.
I sip it. This is disgusting, and I just just slide it away straight away.
Like
Really?
Basically, Atlas takes a sip of his pitcher, takes the smaller glass, tosses it in with the rest. That's
Well,
fine, I'll take it.
if this Duke of Hell has arrived, there will be certain things that will be evident here in the city. It will begin spreading its influence, begin making things possible for it to bring in its forces. This Duke, at least by its title, has legions upon legions. Probably knowing them, it has. It operates mostly as some sort of commander, some sort of conqueror. They're types of demons, each having their own little purviews. If that's the case, it'll want to bring in as many as possible. I'll have to find it.
How do we do that?
Well, there are several means. I'm
I'm
open
starting
to
to do notes on like napkins, just like throwing them away, and then new notes or beer mats. Let's say,
Yeah.
like filling them up with little equations and throwing them away. It's like
I have a few friends that are in the know on these sort of things. Given a little bit of time, I could find out more from them. Yeah. And what was the title again, Rich, of...
Oh, I stuck him in your notes section. It's Alistair, the Duke of Hell. Grand Duke of Hell, sorry. It's under notes. I stuck him on row 80. As well with a Wikipedia article link out if you want to. He is weird and super interesting.
And that's on notes.
Ooh, I would quite like to trigger
in
some
notes
downtime
underneath
moves.
Reverend Hazard's on row 80.
Oh, I got you. Oh, okay.
What were you going to say?
I was looking through some of these downtime moves, and
Yeah.
this might be time for me to cloister myself.
Let's do it.
Okay, you guys enjoy those. I'm going to be a second. You said this bar was only reachable by teleporter pad or
by flight.
Or flight. Okay, I go up to the teleporter pad. I hack into it so I can go to my own personal.
Oh, you got to put in your special coordinates.
Yeah, to my lab.
Oof. I don't know. I don't know if that's the easy thing to do. I want to see a roll on this. If that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wield your powers.
It's confidence line. I'm currently confident, so cool. Wielding powers. Sorry.
It's rolling
flat.
with power. So.
Okay. So a +2 is a +1. Sorry. Well, 7.
Oh, barely. So with a 7 to 9 on wielding your powers,
I create something useful from my environment.
Okay, good. There you go. You plug in the coordinates and zip to your lab in order to cloister yourself and research. You get to roll with genius on that one.
That one I have slightly better. But this one is not affected by any alignment tracks.
Does not appear to be.
So I will just a +2. Okay, the dice now like me better.
There we go.
Got a 10.
All right, better than a 10. That was an 11.
I'm like handing, as I teleport in, I'm like, diffuse, and I'm like, multiple tentacles are handing out beer mats to other tentacles.
It's like scanning in the thing and doing some OCR.
Like, bringing them up on bringing them up on my like holographic chalkboard, basically.
Nice.
Discover a flaw or weakness in this Lord of Hell.
Okay.
And learn where someone or something came from. Let's get some dimensional coordinates.
Do you want to know where Alistair comes from? Because you've been told, but you could prove it through your research.
Yeah, but I mean, that means nothing. I mean, specific dimensional coordinates, that means something. You might as well say it comes from Dreamland. It's nonsense.
Right. So I guess he comes from dimension. What dimension? 42. Maybe you have categorized.
Yeah.
So you have categorized that
Or maybe it's
particular
like
dimension.
-42. Like there's a scale.
Yeah.
It's like goes
Yeah,
negative
it's not like Kelvin. There's a scale.
Yeah.
It goes to negative. I like it. Yes, so -42, and that is where he has come from and where he is. He's not currently in this dimension. And do you want to discover a flaw or weakness in someone or something? You find that Alistair, at least the histories, you're cross-referencing the Lesser Key of Solomon. You find some information that he is, while he does hold the title of Great Duke of Hell, title, you can accept that, that he does have 36 legions of demons under his command, all coming from temptations. He induces people to immortality and teaches all mysteries of the sky to them. So his weakness is those who refuse what he offers have greater power against his legions. Because he is such a cocky mofo, those who become his legions, the demons that he commands, are much weaker than other of that particular dimension or plane, because he would not want any of them to be able to challenge him. So he only lends them a small amount of his power.
Thanks for that. I'm gonna go back.
And also, like, as you're preparing to teleport back, now you've got the port. Like, you can go to Sky Lounge whenever you want. This is pretty great. Let's see, you get an update from Diffuse that the person who the person suspected to be the bomber, the fake name of Joe Hill, that they're still investigating that, and there has been an interview conducted with the man who rented out the storage units. And so at this point, they have already assigned a couple of detectives to work on that. All of the bomb-making materials have been secured, because time is passing, right?
Yeah.
As you're cloistered, which means you're there for a bit. So they've already taken away all of the bomb-making materials. But the other piece of information that Diffuse gives you is that in the count of what was present, it appears that 3 devices have been created and were not there to be found. So,
well, more things to do today.
We cut back
to
of course. So we cut back to the Sky Lounge. Armature, I don't know if she told you she had to go to the loo, or she just said to have research to do, but she's gone.
I don't think she gave a clear explanation.
Yeah, just something gone.
Yeah.
2 of you are seated there.
Yeah,
together.
I think Ed was just basically going like, well, yeah, so, and then we had, so we've still got Seraph. She's also a member of our team, and well, we used to have Vridian, but he became the Sorcerer Supreme, and then he had to go off and save reality.
My goodness, you've been very, very busy.
That's, I guess, it's fun.
Well, I hate that you seem so unhappy, son.
I'm okay. It's this is good. I can do stuff.
The bubblegum pop sounds come over the speakers of When You're Smiling, which is the follow-up to Glowbug's actual hit that was not, like, it was one of those where she's like, those where it got a little bit of play, but was kind of the like proof that she may have been a one-hit wonder. And so when you're smiling, actually, it cracked the top 100 for like 2 weeks. That was probably due to a lot of payola.
Which is probably going to be like an awkward, like, oh, and that's my girlfriend. Like, what? The music.
Oh, you're dating a rock star. Is that what it is? The rock and rolls?
There's no guitar lick whatsoever in this song. It's total like synth club.
Like Atlas is just looking at him incredulously, like, what? You've never heard of Glowbug?
Can't say I have, son. No, I don't get much time to listen to the kids' music today.
Oh, this song again. As I slide into the booth.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, negative 42. Not hell. Well, whatever. Maybe the locals call it that.
Negative 42.
The dimensional coordinates
Ah.
of where the Demon Lord comes from. Currently not in our dimension.
Hey, I mean, don't be so dismissive of the demons. We have an angel on our team.
Angel.
Yeah, Seraph. I mean, the
Half extra dimensional entity.
Well, I suppose that well, not going to be not coming to join us now, is she?
No, she's on holiday with her girlfriend.
Ah, well,
Wife, right? Sorry.
Well, negative 42, hell, whatever you'd like to call it.
I've made my thoughts clear.
Well, this demon lord operates by temptations, luring those who are.
Oh yeah, the inbox. Check your inbox.
Inbox.
That's all that's in there. Yeah. Laws with temptations. Power and insight into the universe.
Well, primarily.
I couldn't fit it into a text, but there's about 35 texts on that. Well, let's call it a phone.
I look at my flip phone, and indeed, it's. Oh my!
Yeah, there's like a. The research on that demon is just split up into as many texts as it took to get it all in.
Wait, how did you get the reference number? Never mind, I don't want to know.
I hope we're sending it to the right person. That can be confusing.
I am looking it over, and this is accurate but dry. A lot of what I suppose in more practical terms is important is it likes to operate on the godless, liberally educated. Those that go into philosophy, things that take them further from the true teachings of the Lord, at least in its mind. Now, I'm a bit more progressive in that sort of thought. I think the Lord brings science the same as he brings anything else. But tends to want to tempt those, especially I found those that deal with outer space. See, they tend to
armature.
They tend to forget that the Lord is bigger than space, time. They lose their way. That would be the sort of place he would find easy temptations.
Well, those that don't do their research.
So now what?
Well, we could go, and if you know of anywhere around here where those sort of folks would be, a university might be a good thought. Also, if you have somewhere quiet, I could make somewhat more esoteric inquiries.
What do you mean by that? Do you mean asking demons?
Well, sort of, yeah.
Is Glowboat home?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe you want to ask her to take a walk for a while.
Why?
So we can use your house.
Oh. Why can't she know?
I mean, I suppose she does do some pretty cool things with the light powers. Yeah, sure.
So,
Good to have backup.
if you'd like to come to my house, Armature made it for me.
I would be honored. Thank you, son. And super girlfriend. Nice going, son, as I elbow him up under the ribs.
It's like elbowing a brick wall, but
Another bruise to add to my collection.
All right.
Cool. So we.
Where's the door?
Oh, where's the door?
I think the door. It's like it's in a like on the west end of South Side.
West end of South Side.
Is it against the wall or is it just freestanding?
It's against the wall.
Cool. You guys teleport out of Sky Lounge and you see that there is a door just kind of randomly placed in the middle of an office building, I assume, at the side of an office building. Open the door up and it comes into, I don't know, Atlas, what does your home look like? This extra dimensional pocket universe.
It's rather
Negative 0.5.
Yes, it's rather like mechanical looking, and like, you know, the bed is actually sort of made like it comes out of the floor instead of it's like being placed on everything. All the furniture basically is coming out of the walls, and it's very like there's no windows. That doesn't help.
I think from my memory that outside of the sphere there was just a dark void.
Yeah, I think,
if there's a gap in anything,
there's like an animated like there is a painting that's like it's not a painting, it's like an animated frame of like an outdoorsy looking landscape, and that's just keeping some normalcy. And yeah, as soon as we come in, it's like, honey, I'm home.
That is wild. Cool. So let me make a quick die roll to see if she's home. Because I don't know why, but I want to roll dice on this. So, come on. What? Oh, that's weird. It just rolled like a blank die. That's doesn't make sense.
Reroll it.
I did a fate die instead of a d20. I'm a doof. Here we go. Haha. I think is there like a sub-diffuse automated smart home system here that Armature might have set up?
I think probably at Atlas's request, I separated the AIs. So basically, it's Diffuser's twin.
Okay,
They
yeah.
are not networked.
They're not
So
networked.
there
It's
is like
own separate.
privacy of.
Refuse.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty great. So the refuse answers and says, Eunyoung Kim is not home at this time. Would you like to send her a message?
No, I guess it's okay. Well, yeah. Have work to do. Home now. We'll probably leave soon for hell. Kisses.
Message sent.
Thank you, Refuse.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
I know. You say that every time. So, welcome to my humble abode, Reverend.
Humble. These are mighty
Refuse.
nice digs.
Clear out this mess. I gesture to move everything out of the way and give us a space. Does Refuse listen to me, or is Refuse?
I think it still does. Yeah, that's annoying. Which is like you can see Atlas going, "Fuck, that's annoying."
Of course, yeah. Refuse does have these vestigial programming bits that causes it to immediately reply to Armature. So yes, Refuse gets to work.
And I'll begin pulling out of my coat pockets and inside pockets and stuff, chalk, a few stubs of candles, and I'll go over to Armature. Maybe you'll be interested in this. You're an expert on the extra-dimensional. Perhaps you'd be interested to see how I managed to interact with it.
Okay, I'm not holding my breath, but
and I begin drawing out, the pentagram and the symbols and placing my stubs of candles at the points. And once they're all set, I kind of will make a motion and the stubs of candles will pop up to light.
I roll from Armature.
And I'm attempting to use my darker knowledge.
Very cool. Let's see you use that darker knowledge. I'm stoked for this.
Alrighty.
When you commune with the underworld, supernatural, otherwise roll with power.
That will give me an 8.
On a 7 to 9, pick one. Gain some hidden knowledge, gain some underworld assistance. A subject of the underworld doesn't take a tie with you.
Ooh.
I will.
Guess what?
Yeah.
I think that Alistair takes a tie with you.
Okay. And that's them getting a tie with me, not me getting a tie with them, correct?
That's the way it's phrased. They take a tie with you. So
they could use it.
They can use the tie to hurt you and stuff like that. Yep.
Right. But yes, as I begin communing, possibly because I love your voice for him, with Dalmuth, my phone broker from hell.
Oh man, that's good. Yeah. Oh, the thing is, that was an off the cuff, and I didn't go back and re-listen to it, so I may screw up the voice. I'm just warning you ahead of time. So I think this will be the first appearance as Dalmuth, who would be portrayed by Danny DeVito. I think we all accept that as true. He appears seated lotus style on the coffee table in a ratty pair of like a gold pair of sweatpants. At least they were gold back in the day, and now they're ratty and there are a bunch of holes in them, especially like in the crotch. There's like one big hole so you can see his underoos underneath, and he's wearing a wife beater that's kind of grimy, like the kind of thing where there's definitely lots of stains here where he wipes off his hands, you know? His hair's just the bits of hair that he has, tufts of hair that he has kind of out a little bit, kind of points, a little reminiscent of like Mixelpixel a little bit there. And he looks around. Rev?
Dalmuth, I have need of some assistance. I'm searching for something. Duke of Hell, Azimuth. He's causing trouble hereabouts. You know I gotta stop that.
See, point of fact, he actually didn't cause trouble with anybody but you know?
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of personal. I mean, really, if you just died, everything would be fine. But you don't want to do that. It's a waste of effort.
Why is he after me?
Oh, well, evidently somebody went and told him that you were some kind of danger to him, you know.
Huh. Somebody.
It's Betty.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she doesn't like dealing with things directly. So, she just kind of went over to the side, called up a Grand Duke of Hell, and then sent him toddling your way because the Duke of Hell now thinks that you're a major threat. Just totally a lie. You've got more important things to do, like taxes.
So if I leave this place, then no more danger here.
Yeah, I mean more like permanently, like die, if you went to hell.
But if I...
dead, because you're not going to heaven. I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
God's kind of pissed at you. He's got a whole ledger. Like, 20, 30 items of cardinal sins. I didn't know there were that many, but, there's a bunch. So I hear. I mean, it's just a chat. It's just gossip. It could be wrong.
I know my debts, and yes, I know my destination. But if I leave this city, go somewhere where there's no one about, then he'll come for me and I'll deal with it, and one way or the other, nobody else will get hurt.
Yeah, true, but point of fact, Halcyon City's way better equipped to deal with extra... What was that you called them, Nisha?
Extra-dimensional entities.
Blah, 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 blah.
What's he planning to do? How's he planning to come at me? He's not here.
Oh, he's not. No, he works through his, he can't, the demons, he'd have to send so many through that cause a real problem. There's like an armistice kind of Cold War going on, got to work through proxies. It's a whole thing. Like, really, ever since the Inquisition, it's just been really boring. No more demons walking the face of the earth anymore. All the good, really deep, exciting stuff. This stuff's just, temptation. Playing footsie with people.
There's still too many of you out here, I'll say that.
Well, yeah, but those are mostly cast-offs. The really big guys are stuck down there.
Mm-hmm. So he's tempting. He's sending people to find me.
Oh, he's got a long game, football fields, not the European football, the American one with all the head injuries. Yeah, that one. Long.
Huh.
Hey, Betty, she may not be satisfied with that. You know her. She's always been like, give it to me now. Give it to me now. You know how they are, right?
Shut your mouth.
Oh, touched a nerve.
Can I get a read on Rev while this is going on?
I don't know. Is there anything the Rev is hiding, or is it pretty obvious?
Trying to see the question.
And see if there's something in there that you could tell, obviously, when he mentions this Betty, that it's hurt me, and then saying that has pissed me off.
Nice. I don't think the question's quite. I think I'll just go out. No. Okay, who's Betty? I'm missing something here.
My ex-wife.
Okay.
That is in contact with other dimensions.
Yes. And she sort of blames me for that. Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Why?
Let me think just 2 seconds.
While he's doing this, I try and take a blood sample from this thing. This entity. Oh, a tissue sample. A sample of the matter. I'm not going to assume that it has blood. Oh, you muted.
Man, I did it. I did the thing.
Yeah.
The matter. You're absolutely right there. It's chances are not good that he has blood, but let's see what you can do.
I suppose it would this be an intimacy move if I tell them what I'm doing or what's happened?
When you share them, showing your truth feelings are a rough front. I think so. You're showing true feelings about something.
I am.
Let's do it.
I look over to Dalmuth, who I imagine has got a smirk on for this story since he's so intimately involved.
Smirk. He actually has a little tub of popcorn.
There was a Phelan in me, and I listened to this one. I didn't appreciate her. I didn't appreciate all that I was delving in. For such a small thing, I gave up my marriage. More than that, I bound my wife into marriage with a demon.
You made a deal to give your wife to a demon?
I was unaware that that was exactly the terms that I was dealing in. Perhaps my old friend Jack Daniels helped to cloud my mind a little. But yes, ultimately, go ahead.
A bad deal.
Yeah, and I've been paying for it ever since. I intend to free her from this. She's not herself. Once I get her free, then she'll return to the sweet girl she was. She could go on to live her life. Maybe a little bit of terrible debt I owe upstairs will be paid. I got plenty more sins than just that.
Okay, well.
I'm sorry, son, as I look over at Atlas. I'm not a very good man.
I guess you try to be. Or
I try harder now. And I look back over towards Dalmuth. Of course, Dalmuth here traded her right off soon as he could, didn't you? You little... Oh,
So-
Petrie froze.
No.
Listening, I think.
Yes. Again.
I said, and then I look over towards Dalmuth and of course, he traded her off as soon as he had a chance, didn't you?
Oh, it's all a big hornswoggle, you know. Gotta keep in the game, man. It's a lot of stuff. It'll circle back around again. Do you want me to look for it? I mean, are you willing to trade for it? Maybe I could get it.
We've talked this deal before.
We have, but, every day's a new day. Sometimes deals change, different kinds of leverage, different kinds of mediums of exchange, as it were. Her. I'm interested in her. She's very smart. Maybe you trade her to me. Her for Betty, what do you think?
Quiet, demon.
Can I assess the situation?
Yeah, I think you should. Or pierce the mask.
I think I'm because I'm aiming this at Dalmuth. So
Okay, cool.
this is I'm assessing the situation,
All right, that is a confidence aligned move.
which is currently okay. There we go.
And roll with genius. And by the way, really cool how you added in the moves that are confidence and trust aligned. There, Jan, I want to make that kind of a standard. That's really cool.
You're welcome.
9. Yes.
9. Okay. A 9, you get one question. Unless someone helps you. But it doesn't look like you're telling anybody you're doing it.
What here can I use to assert my dominance? Kind of show that I'm not to be pushed around.
What here? Dalmuth is cowed by beings from, I assume, positive dimension 42, the polar opposite of positive of negative dimension 42. Also, those that seem rock solid, inviolate, pure of heart or of will. So
Let's skip over the pure of heart part.
pure of will,
Yeah.
pure of intention, not infallible, but ultimately confident in themselves.
Dalmuth, I'm kind of like I don't want to say dimensions, but let's go with that. This dimension's leading expert in dimensional travel.
Well,
Sorry, do you know someone with more expertise in this?
well, I mean, Vridian is not on this plane at the moment, but otherwise,
I did say in this dimension.
fine.
So unless you want me to just find some friends in a go up a few levels in the dimensions, I'm sure we can find some friends for you that would, much more interest in you than me.
Dol, I'm having a little trouble. Are you trying to hook me up or threaten me? I'm just so we could put a finer point on the dimensional friends levels. Just you're very smart. You talk down here. Bring it down just a little bit down here.
I would like to wield my powers.
Just like this to the demon, like.
Okay, I want to wield my powers, and I want to open up. I mean, I know I haven't quite cracked dimensional travel that great, but I can at least open something to a higher level dimension for a moment.
Oh,
Maybe not
sure. Please roll dice and let us find if the dice agree with this.
power. Ugh, not the best one, but at least I've got confidence. So this is going to be +1. 8.
Okay. On unleashing your powers on a 7 to 9. Wield your powers. Sorry. On a hit, you get to choose one.
Create something useful from your environment. Specifically, my tentacles plugging in to refuse, and like all the cables that kind of form it, kind of forming a big old circle. And maybe like the lights all flickering out for a second, and then just like a little bead of white light forming in the center of this circle, and then slowly spreading towards filling the edges.
Cool. And what dimension have you accessed exactly?
I
Would
mean,
it be positive dimension 42?
definitely a positive. One of up there, yeah.
Awesome. We hear like harp music kind of start to flow through, and he winces a little bit. Meanwhile, Atlas, your phone dings with a text from Refuse. It is the armature insertion log where she overrides Refuse. Refuse just creates it, logs a ticket, and hits it to you as well as to Anyong Kim. It's a little thing that Refuse suggested. And he recoils. He Dunwich recoils back and kind of slides off of the coffee table and starts patting his clawed bare feet away. And he actually what?
Form hands and click my fingers to stop this, because I know I can't keep this going, because this is like using.
That was a very fine point. You didn't have to make a point that would stab me with. Good lord. Like good lord, I mean like dark lord.
I imagine that Reverend Hazard also sort of cringed back from it a little bit.
Neither of us want to end up there.
Not right yet. Down.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, there's no trading. Kind of gesturing to myself.
Well, all right.
I'll not compound my sins with anybody in your dealings, Dalmas. I'll find her on my own. Have you anything else to say before I send you back to where you belong?
Do you have any nachos?
I think I just off reflexive dealing with him, I'll reach into one of my pockets and pull out a bag of Fritos. I see myself as a Frito man, and toss it to him.
And
before
then
I dismiss him.
Cool. He's still munching the Fritos, and then one Frito just kind of falls and lands on the ground, and a tentacle comes out and sucks it up. And I think maybe we call bio break here. Sound good? All right. We are at 16 till. Let's take a 2 minute, or sorry, not 2 minute. I need more than that. 10. Take a 10-minute break. So we'll see you at 6 till. Did you see that link, Jan?
Yes,
The
I saw
little
it.
Die roller. That is a thing that we could use.
It's pretty cute, but it doesn't have minus die rolls at the moment.
Well, it could though. All it is I was looking at it. Is just it does a. You just have to add some to the if statements.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can make this work for us.
Oh.
That other kind of thing's pretty cool too. And I love the conditional formatting for the dice. Oh, there is one with a minus where you can select it. There you go.
Yeah. But only goes to -1, which is not enough for this game.
No, I'm pretty sure I could. Let me try this. Because I think it does the calc after. And I think if I go. And there you go. Now it's got that. So what I was anyway, this watching. Sorry, we've someone shared on the Gauntlet forum a die roller that works within the Google spreadsheet that uses a command called rand between and a series of if statements. That alternate PbtA one I think is the way to go. Although it would be really cool if we could do it to where it kind of links to whether you're using confidence or trust and what stat. You just like click those two and it automatically calls on what numbers you have in the states. That would be the best. So I think I can program that. It'll take a little bit, but hot tamales, that is a miracle. The person who shared it on the Gauntlet forum, so I give them credit. Where is it? Dang it! There's so many people. Oh, there it is. The person's name, Michael. From Michael Dunn O'Connor. Thank you, Michael. So he has a website, Narrative Dynamics Press. So give him some love because that is a very cool thing. A sample die roller. I'm going to work on trying to incorporate that ASAP. I'm not sure how easy it'll be, but I mean, I use so many character keepers and having a die roller because for the PbtA stuff, it's nice having a die roller, but if we can incorporate in the character keeper, it's going to be like one less tab for folks. So cool. Let me take a drink. Whether I did his voice right or not, his voice is a bit of a wreck. So
with my intimacy move, it says gain a tie or shift a tie. And this would be with Atlas, I feel like, what was going on.
Cool.
What does shifting a tie mean?
Well, that's a good question. In the moves for ties, or in the explanation of ties, you can have a negative tie with an NPC. It's kind of shifting the attitude of that tie. So you can have that intimacy move with someone that you have a tie with that's negative and shift it to a positive. With PCs, I think it's a little more like less mechanical for describing how that tie works, and more of your backstory.
Okay. And so if it isn't shifting, then would I get the one team instead if for when you gain a tie with someone you already have a tie with, gain one team?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, fictionally, we could say this was the first tie, but mechanically, let's just go ahead and give you a team.
Okay. Because he was the only one I actually have a tie with, I suppose.
Right. I mean, you could get a tie with Armature. She's so tieable.
Well, it would be, going forward, I'm sure we will.
He's basically just made of knots, so.
No, she's not. Wait. Get it? Like, yeah, I'm the worst. My puns are bad. Where do you guys want to pick up with? Delmuth is gone. You have the information that he is able to give you about Alistair.
I suppose that I'll look to the two of you, and clearly I'm the danger. And while I'm not quite willing to meet my maker, I'm sure not interested in having more people suffer for this demon's influence. I should leave, find somewhere quiet and confront it.
I think we already discussed this.
Yeah.
Well, that's when it was a danger to you and your city. Now it's just me. And I'm not worth people getting hurt over.
Hey, you were nice to me back when I was in a chair. You're still nice.
That deal you made was bullshit. I mean, I'm not going to say you made the smartest move, but
Oh no, that was pretty dumb.
those were not stated clauses in the agreement.
A man loses a lot when he deals with hell.
You should have a legal department. It's really useful,
I know
I
my
find.
way around making bad deals a bit as well, so
Yeah, he's made it awful.
Well, I'll keep in mind getting good counsel in the future. Now I just gotta try and make amends, I suppose.
Well, we know what they're scared of. If they're anything like your friend, a gesture to the chalk circle.
Well, they're all a little different, but I have a feeling what you were showing there, all of them, pretty unhappy with seeing the light of the Lord.
Yeah. Well, he's gone.
He's gone.
Okay, good, because I could only hold that open for about 3.5 seconds more.
Oh, I see.
Do you know how much expenditure it is to go to that higher level up the dimensional?
No,
Sure.
I can't say that I do.
no.
Well,
Can
it's a lot.
you send me to this Duke of Hell?
Now, matter transfer through dimensions. That's kind of hard.
What about we get him here?
I mean, bringing him this way, because I mean, that's much easier. Because if he turns inside out,
We just need bait.
Yeah.
which we have,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're bound and determined to help me in this, let's beat up a Duke of Hell.
That sounds like fun.
and before we start, I really don't want to get on Anya and Kim's bad side. Again, should we change venue?
Yes, please.
Wherever's convenient for you.
Refuse furniture, please. Refuse furniture, please.
Furniture.
And then all of a sudden it creates furniture, and then you get a text.
You know, I opened up the operating system for you you're welcome to change the coding. Just it's there for you.
Uh-huh.
And I gesture and like bring up a display that's just full of zeros and ones.
Basically, like gibberish.
So where to?
Oh. Well, let's see.
They don't like churches much, I can tell you that. But if the idea is for me to be bait, got to get his attention.
I mean, do you want to try tempting me?
Oh, well,
That seemed his deal.
yeah, I suppose that's something that could happen. Where should we go?
Let's pull up the map.
Well, there used to be a cave up in the hills. Can't mess up the dimensional fabric much more than it is already messed up there.
All right. Okay, that sounds good. Fight on the mount. That seems appropriate.
Tyler, just kind of stepping aside, don't forget you have that move called bargaining that allows you to get a villain, bargain with a villain to back out of a fight without ceremony or explanation. So you've got that back pocket thing. I'm sure you're already aware of it, but I love that move, and so I wanted to.
I gotta do it all private, though.
I know, they're in your face. You get rid of these guys somehow. In your way.
We'll
Cool.
see how it goes.
All right. I am just making some quick adjustments to the die roller I've thrown into the character keeper to make it fit a little bit better. Still not perfect, but it's there, so we can test it a little bit.
Where is it? Is it
If you look on rows 17, 18, and 19, there's one for each of you.
which tab? Oh, in
Sorry,
our
the characters tab, like right there, characters tab. So if you're going to do direct confrontation, you hover over confidence. Oh, it's a confidence aligned thing, and it's daring because you have that there. So it's a +1 for armature. So we just go there, click the button, bam, 5 + 4 + 1 for the stat, and it's a 10. Make sense?
Cool. Nice.
Feel free to play around with it. I kind of want to do like 1,000 of these rands just to see how good the skew is, but I'll just trust in Google's ability to create random number generators. RNG. Good. All right, so you guys talked about a mount? Where you
I
want
was
to have this?
specifically thinking the cave where
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I can't remember
Nemo?
the superior name. Nemo's where Nemo's orb thing was.
Cool. Oh man, we get to have
I
like
think
a
the cave
brief.
was gone.
Yeah,
So-
the cave
Or at
kind
least
of.
what was inside it was gone. So
Yeah.
it's like a hollow cave.
Yeah, we like one of those weird little quasi epilogues that I didn't follow up on was like all of them being destroyed by President Armature, but that was just a teaser. That wasn't a real thing. Ended up on the cutting room floor, as it were. Yeah, so we cut to a panel of the park ranger. He's got a little bit more of a beard. He's going through. He's just filling out his little clipboard. Yep. 4 years, no incidents. Some
We
days I
walk
love my some days I love my job. And then you guys walk by and he scratches out a couple of things on his clipboard. Cool. So you're gonna try to summon Alistair, the Grand Duke of Hell, into this dimension, into this national park mountain. and have a fight on the mount. Is that the plan? Is that our plan?
That is a plan.
Yeah.
Who's the leader?
That's a great question.
It depends. You think you're following me because it's sort of me dealing with hell, or are you really more comfortable with one of you being leader?
I think it's fair if you're the leader.
Yeah, I don't think I'm.
It's your thing.
You're at least the spokesperson in this situation, at the very least. Armature is
Well,
kind of doing her own thing in her own head. Of kind of sciencing this problem, but that doesn't require her to talk to anyone. So,
well, I would love to take this as an opportunity because you already opened the door, Atlas, and I appreciate it. Let's take it as an opportunity. This is less about do you bring Alistair to your front doorstep and more of a let's have a big fight and use the teamwork moves and see how this goes.
Exactly.
Let's do it. Cool. So, teamwork rules. When you're working together as a team in a conflict or battle, the outcomes are different than when you're acting alone. Start a battle, determine who the leader is, which you already have. Looks like the Demon Deacon is your leader. So when the leader first takes action, so we'll move into the what does it look like before we actually start the fight. This is more color so we have the intro. What does it look like for the Demon Deacon when you call upon Alistair, the Grand Duke of Hell, and bring him to your doorstep? Oh, we got some headset problems. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We will wait. I'll buy time. Oh, we're gonna have to switch headsets. Oh no, that's the worst.
can I add then some flavor to the? I like
You
to
should.
imagine when we approached past the park ranger. I think I would have given Atlas my most powerful, but also portable reactor. I would say it was like the size of a truck, let's say. So Atlas can be carrying that on the shoulder as he passes. I imagine like that. The park ranger just gets into shadow as he.
It's a thing of that, and he just turns and he starts running for his.
Yeah. And so at the cave, it's like no reactor set up because I at least want to be able to attempt a repeat of that trick. Word might have gone around, and it might be a bluff I can pull again. Maybe I can fine tune it, get a bit more time out of it. Maybe,
Yeah, I'm sure it will work fine. It's a mighty fine idea.
So Project Diffuse would actually be with us.
Oh, cool. Good. Yeah. So Project Diffuse is with you, and we will. What does it look like when Reverend Hazard opens the gate to summon Alistair, the Great Duke of Hell?
I think Armature had suggested tempting her in some way as the kind of center point of being able to pull this thing. I don't know if I need to pierce the mask or if I should just go with something that I think would tempt you.
I want to see you pierce the mask to see if you can figure out what would tempt her. I think that would be fun.
Okay. Well, I'm all even up now on trust and confidence. So I rolled humanity, which is also all evened up. So I have no bonuses.
Are you using our new die roller?
I am.
All right.
So I just roll. I got an 8.
You did? It looks like a 10 for me.
Looks like a 7 to me.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
It looks like an 8 to me.
Well, it looks like a 5 and a 1.
I trust
a
you.
5 and a 2, sorry.
I see a 9.
Okay, so
we
we
have
now
issues.
found why this is a problem. The die roller for me is a 4 and a 6, so it looks like it randomizes differently based on each person's view, which makes this completely unusable. I'm just going to delete the rows. until I figure it out. That was hilarious. All right, back here to our die roller. We all see the same value.
All right. Shall I roll it?
Hilarious. Please. Oh, that's great.
I was wondering, was that just a modifier? Because mine was just one off from his, so I was like, it must just be a modifier I'm not taking into account that he is applying.
That is great.
I'm sure he said straight. But
that was the worst. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, it's great. Okay, is this your value, the reds?
Nope, I'm the purples, and I got a 2.
Oh, nice. That is spectacular.
so 3.
All right.
So I think, as we start this, I'm like, so are we just gonna role play this out? What do you want from?
She says perhaps you'll get experience points.
Let me see. And I'm kind of peering at her, and part of it's also the thinking on what would do this. So I guess the question would be, how do I get Armature to be tempted? Is the simple one. But how could we become tied? I think is my first question. What is it at this point that could make us tied?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I know how I kind of thought of our tie in the issue 1, which is kind of like this, the naughty uncle, the kind of bad influence uncle.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the kind of, but
would it still be something like I can?
Yeah.
I could give you the let you kind of do questionable things.
Yeah, I think being the person who doesn't eye roll when I suggest something very immoral.
Okay.
When I'm just brainstorming, because my brain works quicker than the kind of let's say my brain works quicker than my heart, so to speak.
Gotcha.
I could do this to solve this problem.
Bad Armature.
5 minutes later, but that would.
Then I'll go with, what are you really planning? What is this dream, this idea of Armatures? Again, in reference to temptations.
I want to travel the dimensions. I want to freely travel the dimensions, not like this. I can maybe peer into one, maybe moving inanimate objects through safely, for a very limited amount of time. I want to just be able to.
Okay.
I want 5-dimensional movement.
I think I know how to tempt you, so I'll use my third one to say, what do you want me to do? And this doesn't have to be all temptations. This is anything.
I think I really, really want to know what is the science behind what you do.
Gotcha.
Right. These aren't the most personal, but yeah, it is something that just drives her insane. That just this, you do things that she cannot explain, and it drives her nuts. That this,
dark knowledge,
and she is not willing to accept that it's just shrug. It's magic,
right? It's soul damning magics.
No, that is not that she's not willing to accept that as an answer. That is not the answer. That is just what people say.
Then I think I know how to tempt you. As I'm, you say, are we going to role play? I'm like, no, I don't think that's necessary. And I'm going to begin raising my illusion powers up. And it's like we begin moving up into the sky. So it's like this rolling illusion as though we're moving through, and we see the beginnings of the dimensional tears. You want to see, you want to know. And I'll move us through, and I imagine I have glimpsed into certainly some darker ones as we just flash through dimensions around us, as you're seeing it in this full, and like we're moving through.
Are we all seeing this, or is it just...
That's a good question. I don't think I would try to do it to you, so maybe it's more like you're standing outside seeing us in this bubble of it, and you can kind of see where we're going, but you're not all immersed in it. And as we're shifting through, we're getting lower and lower until we're my vision of 42, negative 42. And I'm chanting the Duke's name.
Yeah, I'm like reaching out, trying to touch these things, and kind of like little devices are coming out of the things, trying to get as any or as just soak in it data.
And you, with the express fulfillment of what Alistair wants, that illusion becomes reality, as dimension negative 42 is the portal for him to step through. Alistair, the great Duke of Hell, appears in the shape of a knight mounted on an enormous horse. His face has leonine characteristics, a ruddy complexion, and he has burning eyes. His horse has the legs of dragon. He looks at the two of you. Give her to me, Reverend. I will give you your wife in exchange for this one. A pure little virgin with genius intellect.
And you could see that moment, that doubt, that, oh God, this could all be over so easy before this one is not for me to give.
Which is then interrupted by, you're a virgin?
And I'm attempting.
I think I'd be like, what? And then just get like cut off by someone else's
Technically.
And I'm going to attempt to use the illusion to kind of warmth us so that space in between the dimensions is open, and Atlas can see into it and see us and come in, I suppose.
Nice. Yes, you pierce the veil for him. And now here on the mountaintop, the three of you face the great Duke of Hell, at least his physical manifestation here on Earth, which is weakened because of the many treaties that have been signed between heaven and hell. But still, he's more than enough to be quite a challenge. And let us see if you can defeat him in the time that we have left for our gaming session. If not, something else will interrupt. So let's move to the teamwork moves. I'm so mad that the die roller didn't work. Like, it's still in my head. That was the most hilarious way for it to break, but oh well. All right. So the way that this works, because pretty sure, Tyler, you've never interfaced with this. Yes. Were you going to say, Jan?
No, that's just the leader takes the first action, apparently.
Exactly.
Reading
Right.
it.
Yep. The leader takes the first action. Let's see. So when the leader takes first action, they spin the team and serve, passing the momentum to another player of their choice, adding one to the momentum pool. So the way that this works is that you will still be engaging the basic moves, right? But then layered on top of that is the idea of kind of like a volleyball match. You're setting, you're passing the ball, as it were, and then you can set someone up for a spike and then spike. So what is the first move that Reverend Hazard, the Demon Deacon, makes against Alosair, the Great Duke of Hell?
All right. And so, having turned down his deal, I think that I think honestly, I'm attempting to set up other people, to help other people here. So the move is defend, protect, or would it be something different?
If you're trying to set up other people, perhaps you could phrase it in a more direct way by trying to perhaps wield your powers in order to create something from the environment. Or
all right, I think what my idea is I've said this one is not for me to give, and that sort of will focus him in on me. And I said I'd move that illusion out so it opened up the space. I'm trying so that he doesn't realize completely that he's, in that in-between space. And more importantly, he doesn't see Atlas coming. So my illusions are to shield so that Atlas could come in unobserved or surprisingly.
Awesome. So let's have you... well, actually, that feels like to be you're directly confronting to create an opening. So let's have you roll with daring. It is a confidence-aligned move.
Okay.
So you will be rolling flat with this to set him up.
Okay. Here we go. Ugh, that's a 4.
Okay. So the illusion, the illusion that you cast out, there's a flaw in it, and does see Atlas coming, and I think that this also makes him aware that we are not where Earth, and that's what he says. But layered on top of that is our teamwork move. So you did fail that move, but you can, if you want, go ahead and pass the momentum to another player of your choice and add one to the momentum pool. But you have to spend a team in order to do that.
I will do so.
Okay. And who are you passing it to?
I think I was saying that I was passing towards Atlas.
Totally makes sense. I just wanted to double check. I am going to stick some names on the die roller real quick because I'm also going to give us a little thing where we can tell who is what. So, armature.
I already had mine.
I know you did. You go ahead and make mark an XP for that, Jan.
Gladly.
All right, and then I'm gonna stick a yellow token. Here we go. And so that way we can keep track of who's got the momentum. You just move the momentum over to Atlas. Spend a team, which will put you at... Were you at 2 team before, or will that put you at 0 team?
Yeah, I spent it already.
Okay, cool. So it moves you down to 1. Boom. So the momentum is now yours, which means that Atlas, let's see, you start running forward. Alistair's on his horse. The horse's dragon legs rear up. He's ready for you, but you can still directly engage, or if there's something else you'd like to do.
I would like to drag him off his fucking horse.
That's badass, and I want to see how that goes.
As a setup for the next person, of course.
Of course. Directly engage.
Directly engage, which is confidence, so that's a +3, which makes it a 9.
Okay. A 7 to 9 result on direct confrontation. You can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, or create an opening, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. It sounds like you want to take his horse.
I want to take his horse from him, yeah.
Awesome. So you snatch his horse away.
I want to take
Do you do you yank the horse or do you yank him off the horse?
I think I'll just grab him by one leg and just go and let's pull him right
Cool.
Probably with saddle and all.
Nice. So you do that, and as he slams into the ground, moving with demonic speed, he stabs you with a serrated sword, and then tries to stab in and then rip out, trying to open you up as much as possible. Please take a blow here. You will be weathering a blow. Sorry, not take a blow, but weather a blow.
I'm tough inside and out, and I can choose which track I roll with. But since my confidence and trust are both 1, it doesn't matter. And I will roll. Yeah, that's a 9.
Ooh, a 9. Ooh, on a 7 to 9, choose one from the following. Foe gains an opportunity, shift your confidence or trust by 1, or a tie is returned and shifts its attitude.
Is Fraggle Rock a tie?
Shift my confidence.
Oh, does he have a tie with Frogger Rock? No, he does not.
No.
Frogger Rock has a tie with you, of course.
Yes. Just shift my confidence or trust by 1, I guess.
Oh, fun. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to shift your confidence up by 1. As you weather this blow, it hurts, but this demon has nothing on you. You feel it. You are stronger than he is. So what do you want to do with your teamwork moves? Do you want to spin the team and pass?
Spin and
pass. Do you want to
spike,
or do you want to spike?
No, spin and pass.
Okay. Cool. To whom?
I'm going to pass the armature.
All right, armature. You now have the Mo. You see that he has been yanked down to the ground. Alosair, the Great Duke of Hell, is trying to scramble to his feet after having stabbed Atlas through the gut with his serrated sword. What do you do?
And just to be clear, the momentum is has a value now, so it's 2?
Yes, I'm sorry. The momentum pool is now a value of 2. That is a great question, and sorry, I should indicate that somehow.
Maybe we should.
Yeah, I'm just keep busy. Yeah, you keep them occupied. And I think I'm working with Diffuse to. I want to try and No, do you know what? I guess this is wielding my powers, but I want to lock this guy. I want to lock the reality in its location.
Oh,
so
crap!
Dimensional. There's no escape. There's no bringing in reinforcements.
So you're trying to neutralize an opponent or threat, at least for now.
Yeah.
All right. Confidence aligned, rolling with power. For you, that means you are rolling just a 1 plus 1.
Yeah. 7.
Wow. You squeak past on that, and you will absolutely go ahead and make that choice that you were going after, neutralizing an opponent. I think that's the thing where he scrambles to his feet. You see his leonine face, he draws back a breath. You see this kind of smoke inhalation around his nose. He's about to vomit out a gout of something probably, hot, fiery, bad for you. But he has not yet. What do you wish to do with that momentum? Are you going to spin the team and kick it over to someone?
Because I can also
You can spike or you can pass.
isn't there
Oh, sorry. You can set or you can
Set,
pass.
yeah.
I got my S words messed up. Sorry.
Yeah.
I did not mean to confuse.
Well, I do have one team left, so I might set up. I'm going to set up for
whom?
I kind of Yeah, the Rev. Yeah.
Cool.
For the
I like
Demon
that.
Deacon, I'm directing Profuse, and clicking in a big old cable into that reactor that we brought, and setting up Profuse, spreading himself around the perimeter.
Nice.
Of, making himself the field generator. I'm
all right.
Rev.
All right. And so when you spend one, you set. The next player to have the momentum is spend a team. The act is set, adding 1 to the momentum pool or nothing to volley. So now we're at a 3. The player that gets the momentum after a set must spike as their next action. They can spend a team before they do so to add 1 to the momentum pool because they're taking it up to 3. So if you spin 1, you push it to 4. When you spike, you roll with momentum pool. And you can make that as your sole action. You can give it whatever color you want because this is kind of the culmination of the teamwork rules. On a 7 to 9, so that's a good question. So the player that gets the momentum after a set must spike as their next action.
Okay. Had you not been set up, Alex?
No,
I set.
Oh, you were volley. Okay.
So, yeah, and by the way, you get a new text in your phone that's as layman terms as I can do, explaining what I've done. I still used every available amount of word count.
Okay.
And then you do notice there's a follow-up text that's just equations, just in case you needed it.
I stared out at the flip phone for a second. You're right here. And
see the phone. And I'm still clicking. I'll let be a lever.
Okay, so I have to spike. So I have to do the thing that could wipe it out, right?
Right. And I'm going to put a little. I'm just putting a little cheat sheet for us for future.
Okay. That's kind of a shame. I really would have. In a way, there's not a way to build up momentum without getting, setting someone pretty quick, is there?
Well, I think the determination is kind of like it's the villain's health. So we can run it out of determination. That's not KO'd.
Oh, okay. Cool.
If he had no determination, he would be KO'd.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's how I read it.
Yes, that is how it goes.
Okay. So I'm going to, I guess, have to spike. So that means, and do I can spend a thing to take it up to 4?
You can spin the team, and that will take it up to 4.
Now I'm gonna hold on to my team because if we don't knock him out, which I have a feeling we probably shouldn't, I'll want to try and set up someone else. Because honestly, I'd like to have Atlas.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you spike here, you can choose to run the villain out of determination, but that won't immediately KO them. They'll still be there, nearly down, and then Atlas could KO them. But if you don't run him out of determination, then he's going to, there'd be some ass whooping.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to roll the spike with +3.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much my only option.
Sorry, and I should have done a better job of kind of walking through these steps before we jumped into it. I apologize.
I get a
It
7.
also helps if you're familiar with volleyball terms, I think.
Yeah, that does help. You got a what?
A 7.
You rolled
Plus
4.
3 got 7.
roll the 4 plus 3 is a 7. Okay, on a 7 to 9, you get to choose one.
I believe I'll be running the villain out of determination.
So what does it look like?
I think that the deacon begins this sort of chanting, and as he does, there is this kind of, it's not a holy light. It's probably more like a demonic light. It's my mastery of demons. It was what was given to me in my infernal bargain. And as I begin using it, I'm stripping him away. His armor begins to collapse off
nice.
of him. There is this writhing sort of energy around him that is causing his skin to sort of burn and smoke as I've stripped him away.
Oh man, that's awesome. That is really, really cool. So you see all the cuirass falls off and all the armor pieces drop away, and you see the demonic skin is pockmarked and blistered underneath from all of the many years, eons that he spent in hell. And are you passing the momentum then to Atlas?
So it doesn't get used.
So good question. So after you spike, the momentum pool resets to 0. You pass the momentum to another player. That person, the leader or the next player with a big plan, may serve again if they choose to start building momentum back up, or just engage in actions outside of the teamwork rules.
Then I think I want to try and hold on as leader so I can serve to Atlas.
Okay.
That'll let Atlas spike, right?
So it goes serve, volley, set, spike, and it gets a little confusing. But like once we're at this point, if you guys are out of team, and I think that was your last team in order to spike, you have one left. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you can serve. If you serve, what choice Atlas has is to volley or set. You can't spike unless you have been
serving. I'm serving over to armature. There we go. And then that get so we can set. Okay. And so I still have to do a thing to do it, right?
Well, your thing was what the color of the spike. Like the spike kind of, at least as I've played it, supersedes a basic move because it's such a huge thing.
Excellent. Then I will spend my last team and will serve to you armature.
All right. Armature, you have it. And he's been weakened. He's cut off from his dimension and neutralized, at least for this point. You see on your HUD, there's a bunch of displays from Diffuse and your other kind of built-in mechanics of your Mark 1 suit.
Mark
you
1?
see that he... Mark 3? I mean, it's a year ago. I guess maybe it's like Mark 2, Mark 3. Mark 3. We'll go Mark 3. That sounds good.
Well, I don't actually have any team, so I will just be passing.
Okay.
So he's like stripped of all the armor.
Mm-hmm. He's going to. He's in the process. Oh,
sorry.
What? Jan?
It's volley.
Volley.
Thank you, volley.
Yeah. Yes.
We will get better at this. All
Yes.
of us, I promise. This is we're struggling through the first one. We will get better. And not having Jen here has made it a little more problematic because Jen is smarter than me. So also what's her thing? You may volley, but you also at this point will need to take some kind of basic move. He is about to vomit forth flame on Atlas. You could try to defend Atlas if you wish.
I think I would, and I will use my suits.
Ooh, fun!
Because that potentially gives me better roll.
Mm-hmm. When you protect or directly engage while piloting the suit, roll with the suit's strengths minus any weaknesses that apply in the situation.
Yeah, so that will be. I mean, it's nimble and quick.
Mm-hmm.
Self-repairing. I mean, if it's going to be burning away parts of my suit while I'm doing this.
Yeah, he will.
But it's going to be. I'm not actually using it to attack, so unarmed I don't think is a thing. But exposed interior is probably a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem for you.
So that's a +1.
Okay. Yeah, that is a better choice than just going with the straight move. So you should use suit.
That, but I mean the trust knocks that down a bit, so it's flat roll, but it would have been -1. So
exactly. So I think it's a good idea for you to just use the suit. Go ahead and roll.
What I'm actually doing is I got it all powered up, connected. Probably the power levels are like the little power readout that is just up in the max level on this generator as I'm keeping this field operating. So this generator probably will explode or power down or something.
Yeah,
after a while.
Yeah, both maybe.
But I see this flame burst and I see that no one else is particularly in reach of stopping this happen. Oh shit. Dive for it and moving as quick as I can, stretching my arms out to wrap around this demon's head, and part of the tentacles are covering the mouth, but also pulling the head back to aim upwards away.
Oh, that's cool. I really like that.
And I will roll.
I like the imagery there. That's very cool.
And my brain's slow. 9.
Ooh. Okay. On a 9, it costs you. So you get to choose one. Give a teammate an opportunity. Forge a new tie with someone you protect, or shift the relationship if you're already tied. Shift your confidence or trust.
I'm gonna give my teammate an opportunity.
Nice. And then you can expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
I'm exposing myself to danger.
Oh, good.
Because I think I'm almost just right behind this giant figure with my arms reached out to wrap around its head.
Let me just tell you.
And I don't know where the horse thing is.
The hawk thing?
Horse.
Yeah, the horse, yeah. Because that was the escalate the
that.
situation, was the horse was going to open things up for the demons to start invading Earth. But you didn't escalate the situation. You just need to weather a blow as you get the gout of flame that it does spill out of his mouth before your tentacles turn his face completely away.
I'm gonna... I can't let Project Refuse take the blow because he is basically the field generator for this.
Oh, true.
So I have to just take it. Okay. When their confidence is 1 and trust is -1, what would that just be rolling +1?
Yes.
Either way, because they're both 1 away from 0.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Just checking. Well, yay. I mean...
wow. Okay, an 11 + 1, that's a 12.
A 12, that's great, isn't it? Yeah.
For me, yes. On a 10+, choose one of the following. You must remove yourself from the situation. You lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way. 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
The foe gains an opportunity, and the MC shifts your confidence or trust by 1. So I'm currently holding his head and trying to aim it away with the fire bursting out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take your confidence down by 1. Yeah. I'd consider the trust going to -2, but the confidence down by 1 seems more confidence in yourself, trying to hold this thing. You're really a little outmaneuvered here. This is a bit more than you should probably be dealing with. Also, it does feel kind of weird, like the guy, sulfur, brimstone, a lot of the trappings, the demon stuff going on here. It might make someone feel a little less than confident on their firmly held belief about dimensions and not being demons and angels. So you are volleying.
Not a demon, not a demon, not a demon, I say.
Not a girl. You're volleying to Atlas then?
Yeah.
And you've created an opportunity for him, so...
But I also created an opportunity for the demon.
Yeah, the demon is going to be...
Everyone, opportunities all around.
Yeah, the horse, I think the horse gets away. That is the opportunity that the demon has created. So you may take him down, but a year from now, you may be dealing with this demon-legged horse. Atlas, you see that Anisha has her tentacles wrapped around this leonine-faced demon that just vomited forth gouts of flame from hell. What do you want to do?
Well, the demon is wielding a sword, and it seems unfair that I don't have one. So I go, Ragnarok, let's even the playing field.
Excellent. Yes. When you tap into Eldritch powers, whether through an artifact, power source, or spell or ritual, roll plus powers. On a hit, you can craft the Eldritch energy into the effect you sought. On a 7 to 9, the power you tap into takes a tie with you. Expect it to ask you for something. On a miss, the Eldritch energy takes on whatever shape its true source desires.
So rolling plus powers is plus power, right?
Plus power. Yeah. Oh, is power the stat? I will take off the plural. Yeah, you don't add up the number of powers you have. That's weird.
No. But I mean, it's good to.
No, I had the letter powers in there. I was mocking myself, not you.
Okay, so and I get a +1 from. Is this what would you say? How is this aligned? Actually, it doesn't matter. Oh no, it does matter. I have 2 on confidence and 1 on trust. Is it aligned?
I don't think it's aligned, but I'll give it more thought. We may revisit this with an alignment, but for now, I think it's unaligned.
So I'm only at a +2 then at the moment. That's a 10.
Nice. Good. So you are able to use Frog Rock. It comes to your hand. And what is it that you do? What do we see? I think this is the moment where you defeat Alistair with Frog Rock. What does it look like?
I think it's really just the sword suddenly appears in his hands with like purple lightning, and he just swipes down with it while Alistair holds up his sword to block, and Fragarak just
shatters it. Oh, the shards of a demon sword. Definitely not going to do much for the ground here at the national park. But yeah, you do that. He's KO'd.
The ground here was terrible anyway.
It was pretty bad. It had a whole lot of extra dimensional problems. Weird plants and stuff.
Lots of fire as well, so there's that.
He had no cuirass, no armor to stop Fragrak. It pierces into the mortal avatar of him, and he falls to the ground. You would see the singed grass around him. Demon Deacon, you and these two young kids have defeated Alistair. What do you do as he started to dissipate and burn? You know he'll be banished back to hell for a number of years before he can reform. What do you do?
As he's dissipating, I'll move up to him quickly, leaning into its form, sort of oozy, dissolving away. I'm going to attempt to inflict this command on his defeated form. Tell Betty I love her.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. I mean, even if you're successful, is that good? I don't know. Let's see you do it. You're unleashing powers then, right?
Yeah, I suppose that's it. I thought about doing the whatever the overclock is, but yeah, I guess it's unleashing powers.
All right.
Okay. That comes off confidence, and it comes power. My confidence is 0. My power is 2. So rolling +2. Come on, baby, work. That's a 12.
All right. He looks at you, hate bubbling over in his eyes, and he says, "They will give her no comfort, but only remind her of spite she holds for you." And he slowly fades away from this existence, defeated utterly by the three of you. What do you do?
I think I probably collapsed down, and you could see I'm sort of weeping.
I think I'm like standing like really awkwardly, like quite close by. I think I've got my legs are formed, but the tentacle arms, there's not much left. So I've just basically got my, the stumps with maybe one cable going around with some melted tentacles at the floor near me. Like, reach out and just like pat his shoulder super awkwardly.
I think Atlas is sort of going like, Fragrac, this is Reverend Hazard, and then probably like the next response is like, what do you mean, Demon Deacon?
And I think I'll kind of start from, you tapping me on the, patting me.
We won.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know how you did that, but I mean, you just like took his armor away. Like,
That was nice.
We did it together. There's no way I could have beat him alone.
Where's the horse, though?
Back to hell, probably.
oh shit! And I run over and power down the generator before it explodes.
Yeah, it was like already like in the red and heat. And you touch it. Like, oh,
yeah, I like one. I think I even have to like use one stump to like just turn a switch because I only have like one tentacle other than my legs. So. Ow!
Are you gonna be all right. And I'll have taken my flask out and take a swig out of it. Pass it over to you.
Ask the one with the gesture towards. I mean, what is there a wound on Atlas or?
Yes.
Like,
Oh.
yeah, I'm like, I think this is going to find like one
Just
little tiny tinge of a.
I'll rush over to you to. Are you okay?
Yeah, I guess. It'll be fine.
And now reality's unlocked. I'm like porting in more cave tentacles to like reform my arms.
I don't know. I will hand you the flask, Atlas, and I mean, I don't know if it's worth the moment to try and heal you for the end of this. Do we think that's a scene to the end, or I could attempt doing that?
I think, like, as you pass him the flask, he first just dumps a bit on his stomach and like, and then swigs from the bowl.
Then so see it, and it looks like you're tough enough. You're going to be able to handle this sort of thing. I'll go. You're gonna live. You're gonna live, and pat you on the shoulder. And I don't know. Does that maybe push back to real time where we see Reverend Hazard gonna live? Live.
I love it. That's perfect.
Great.
That is awesome.
Lovely.
Cool. So let's bring this session to a close. A couple things that we need to do. First of all, something personal note is a thorn. Keeping advised of the XP triggers did not do a good job of reminding folks if you're hitting those. So let's take a look at that. Armature, did you fail at any ordinary interpersonal interactions? I think you did at least once. Like some of the things that were going on between you kind of stealing Refuse's power and some of those other interactions that you had. And also the, hey, we're at a bar, I'm leaving to go cloister. Like, I think both of those count for me. What do you think?
I think I'll get one at least.
Okay, all right.
I'm happy with
yourself the next. Atlas, when you suffer from prejudices that your teammates do not, gain 1 XP. I think the fact that you guys had to go to Sky Lounge versus just going to a regular bar is a little bit of that. What do you think?
I think that's pushing it, but I'll take it.
All right, cool. And then last but not least, when you resist the temptations to do something corrupt.
Yeah, I think that was being triggered with the, turning over Armature.
Yeah, I think so too. You knew exactly where to go on that one, and you ignored it. Good job. All right, so let's do our end of session stuff, which I always like. The end of every session, take a moment to reflect on how the events of the game went and what big changes happened or seem to be on their way. Choose someone you're tied with and ask them one of these questions. How do my actions this session affect the community? How did I affect the team this session? How did I affect you this session? Now, you know what's interesting? The way this is written, choose someone you're tied with, you could technically ask an NPC that question if you have a tie with them. Based on how that's written, that's the way I read it. But I would rather you guys ask each other because that's always fun. So, Atlas, to whom will you ask this question?
Reverend, how did it affect you this session?
I think that I have been on the run when we start this for so long that I have forgotten there were people that I was trying to be good to, and that there were people out there that I still could connect to. And seeing you, talking to you, made me care about someone beyond like the immediacy of what was going on. And so I think you deeply changed how I was feeling about what I was and what I should be doing.
Awesome. Take +1 confidence.
Thank you.
Cool. So then let's go. Let's go. Who wants to go next?
Atlas, how did I affect you this session?
Let's see. What happened? No. I feel that we actually, though we still had that ribbing going on, which we always do.
That's not going to go away soon.
We sort of, yeah, no, but we complimented each other. And it was like, yeah, it's just a good, like, I can see how Armature and Atlas, with just the two of them, can form a good team. So
I definitely,
yeah, take a trust.
I definitely feel like she was like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
my back is safe. I can go. I can focus on this problem and I know I've got my back. He's got my back.
Cool.
Jan, should I have shifted you instead of you shifting me?
Yeah, I think the person who asked the questions gets shifted. Sorry, I should have pointed that out.
Okay. Then I'll shift you. I'll shift your trust up one.
All right.
And I'm going to ask you so you can still shift my confidence if you want. How did I affect you this session?
I think the Reverend really just brought back some humanity because of the fact that it was like seeing both the small boy and the giant man at the same time, and like that's helped him sort of merge those two together for only a bit, but still.
Good. And then you're keeping with the shifting of the tracks the way you've done it, so that no one has any end of session moves. So that is our end of session thing. That will bring this session to a close. Let's do a quick roses and thorns. I'll just at the top say for thorns on teamwork moves. I really should have brushed it up and given everybody a primer on it as we engaged it, rather than let us kind of stumble through. I apologize for that. Also, Thorn, instead of throwing the die roller in the middle of the keeper, I probably should have tested it. Although I will just say I would never have known that it was broken until we did it live. So
it was fun.
It was a gentle Thorn.
It was immediately like, I see a 7, I see an 8, I see a 9, I see a 10. I'm like, okay.
That was hilarious. Cool. So let's go with Alex. What thorns did you have from today's session?
Well, I'll take the easy one, which is no Jen, no Zareth.
Right? Yeah, that's the easy
one. Yeah, a little bit of getting the flow of the teamwork rules. I agree. I didn't get to. I felt like I didn't do enough to like connect to Reverend Hazard. I was like, because I mean, this is slightly also tangent into a Rose, which was Atlas and Rev. The connection was like really strong, and I really liked that. So Thorn jealousy.
Hashtag jealous. Good. Thank you very much, Alex. Tyler.
Echo that hate points out here, especially since I'm going to say something about the teamwork. As written, it's a little confusing. Because I don't quite understand when someone can choose to spike. I mean, there's the serve, and then we move on to a set. It doesn't look like the volley allows you to add a momentum to it as written. It was a little confusing just reading through it. I like the concept of it very well, but reading through it is a little hard. But I think it's a cool way of handling big group fights. So that might come later as a Rose. But that's my only little thorn looking at this teamwork. It confused me a little bit how to get to a spike, how long you build up momentum. I know there's a maximum, it says in there, but it seemed almost to me like you almost immediately are going to be with 1, maybe 2 momentum to go into it, because if you can't pass a momentum with a volley, then you're just going to set somebody, and they're only going to have the momentum of the leader and then their own if they spend it.
I agree that it takes a little bit to get used to. Once we had it flowing, I quite enjoyed it, but it's been some time and it kind of slipped out of my memory. I thought I could just recall it and jump right in, and that was on me. I kind of cheesed.
No, it was cool though. It's a really cool mechanic. But that's my only little bit of a thorn.
Yeah, I'll double check with Jim, but my feeling is that if you volley, it says you can add nothing to volley. Or you can or cannot, meaning volley could be used to move the momentum around, which I like the idea of momentum also being kind of a initiative system in a way, right, for the player characters, which is fun. But to me, I read it as your volley can be used to increase the momentum if you spend a team, or it can be used to pass the ball, as it were, volley it away without spending team if you're out. So, and it really, like, how many times do you want us to volley? Because if you volley and you set, and serve's already adding 1, how much momentum are you going to be able to spend? So I think it's made to work kind of tight within like a 3 to 5 move set.
Yeah. I mean, I burnt out my team. So
yeah, you guys were all coming in at 2, so you're gonna blow through it pretty fast. Anyway, sorry. I was talking through, not trying to talk out of your thorn, because I
suppose where I'm seeing is they spend team when they act to set and add 1 to the momentum, or nothing to volley. So I don't see where it says to be able to give the momentum when you volley.
Fair. I think we can tighten up that explanation if it's the way I understand it, and I will double check. Jan, what do you got? Thorns.
I mean, it feels like I'm not quite rehashing, because I get the basic idea behind the team moves, but I also feel like I only understand it because Jules was very much into volleyball at some point, and that's because it's all volleyball terms. It's really like, once you get that, it's like, okay. So you do volley, and then you set, and then you spike, and it's really, it helps if you are familiar with volleyball terms, because then you know what you're actually doing with this moving. You're moving around the ball, the enemy, between team members, and then it's like, okay, I see what we're doing, and like a volley is really just like a passing it to another team member. I can't do much with this, and then a set is like, okay, making it ready for them. But yeah,
Could maybe do with a
being familiar with
knowledge.
it helps, and it's not like it's just that I know from listening to Jules that I go like, okay, but otherwise I would have been completely lost as well.
I know that Jen, in her like whole Google Drive of development for this, that she drew out a little like chart of like the stuff, and I'm gonna ask her if we can touch that up or share it or something so that it clarifies thing. And I stuck an order of actions in there. Hopefully that'll clarify just a little bit. It helps me to see that as but I still think it's like you need to understand the decision points. Serve, you have to, anyway.
Someone
rehash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah. Good. Any other thorns?
It was really a shame that there was no Jen, because that was a perfect time for Angel interference.
Mm-hmm. Although I yes, but it was nice to see you guys struggle with it, and that was
Yeah, I know, but still, like, would have been perfect to have Seraph here.
I agree. Awesome. We'll stay with you for roses. What roses did you want to hand out?
This was a very nice way to introduce the characters to each other. Have that scene where Marcus and the Reverend go like, "Oh hey, fuck," like both ways of like, "Oh, you're doing this now." And yeah, just I liked, like I said already, the fact that Armature and Atlas had definitely there was a sense of like a repertoire together already. It felt like they'd been working together for a while, so that was cool.
Very cool. Tyler, what roses did you have?
I thought this was a hell of a good session. I love the flashback setup that you did for it. I thought that was super cool.
I know it was genius of me to come up with an idea off the cuff of using the very last bit of the thing. Genius of me to do that. Thanks, Tyler. I take that rose for sure.
Alex, it was wonderful of you to suggest. I just thought it was really cool. I thought it did nice things, and it gave so much more context to what we're like now. I think that was really cool. In having that first episode was really cool, or first issue of seeing them together, but to get established characters and where the new one came in, this worked really super cool, I thought. I loved our interaction, Jan. I thought Atlas and the Reverend, there's something really sweet and caring there. I thought it was really nice. And, two people that kind of feel like the world has turned against them, dealing with, maybe there is somebody that I can be friends with in a way is really nice. I thought that was cool. And Alex, I loved the temptation set, how we worked into that and how you leaned into it. And I thought that was super cool. I liked the kind of awkwardness of our relationship, and then seeing it become more personal by the end. I thought that was really, really cool. And it pays off kind of my opening question of knowing you, of, there's something out there. I know you can be tempted to do probably awful things you're willing to give. And Rich, just a greatly paced session all around. I think it had, kind of the investigative bit, but we got into unbelievably cool action all the way through. I thought all around it was really well done. And of course, I think the Pawnbroker of Hell character is phenomenal. Love him. So those are my roses. And this is a cool game. I mean, even talk about that teamwork. This game is super, super cool. So I think that I even really like the concept of what the teamwork is doing, rather than having this long, drug out slugfest. It's got this kind of setup so you can go ahead and have a fight and knock something out and work together to do it, which is very superhero.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you very much, Tyler. Alex, what rose
Yeah,
did you have?
who I would like to rose whoever suggested Danny DeVito was the role model for the that demon, because that was like, now I see him, little tiny round guy.
Yep.
And very much the Always Sunny in Philadelphia filthy version of Danny DeVito. I like that. I mean, I've already said it, but the Reverend and Atlas, I really like the dynamic that really early on got set up and just was really nicely built up through the whole session. I also really liked Atlas's timing on bringing Fraggle Rock in.
That's me.
That was so good.
There was definitely something else that I had in mind, but I was listening to everyone else, and I've lost the thing that I was like, this is something I have to mention. I can remember it.
It's okay. I've been there. It's always fun to go, wait, crap.
No, it is gone.
All right. If you
Like
think
the
of it
horse.
later, just text it to us in the G chat. Guys, this is great. Thank you so much for pitch again and being super interesting.
Yeah, no, I remembered it.
Yay!
Tyler's spiking of my original framing device and, bringing it back into the present. I love that.
That was cool.
That was really nicely done.
Guys, that's the kind of next level play I expect from this group. And you guys never disappoint. This is great. We got to close the loop. I was like, oh crap, what if this wants to stretch into another session? I'm so proud of you guys for getting it done. Go you. And can't wait until we get Jen back so we can resume the Demon Deacon and the little baby.
Oh, God damn, I'm going to miss next session.
Okay.
Thorn.
Oh, Thorn for no yawn. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. And I can stop the thing, but I wanted to double check on weeks and time zone stuff for time shifting things. So we'll talk that through.
Because I'll be gone next week as well, I suppose, because of the con.
Oh. Well, then that's a thing I should have considered. I actually didn't sign up for a game during that time because I thought we were but I should have checked in. Yeah, that's right. You probably have a thing, and so we'll just skip next week, and the whole group will be together in 2 weeks. So we'll see you guys in a fortnight, and I think that gets us past all the time shifting, fall forward, stumble backward hours.
No clue,
stuff.
but so.
Do what?
I have no clue, but I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so
hopefully.
too. All right, cool. Thanks you guys so much, and we'll end the broadcast here. Have a great evening, guys.